He knows the sport, bringing you that heat that far. We keeping a foot on the what on the next. We keeping a foot on the what on the next, man. Monty Brown, what's up, man? Talk to us.
Man, what's going down, my brother, man? A pleasure to be here with you. Know you my guy, man. Let's keep the foot on the necks. I got to put a foot on somebody's neck tonight. But we gonna bring that fire, bro. We gonna bring that fire.
That's it, though. Hey, I can't wait to tune in tonight, man. I'm sure you're gonna stump on whoever you got to stump on, bro.
Yeah, Mr. Ugly, man. We talking about Spence and Crawford, so that's easy work.
Yep, yep. Hey, man, let's get on to it, man, because we got a lot to talk about. 135. I mean, it's live up in that division, man. So, what's up, man? Talk to us, dog. Gary Russell Jr. Well, not Gary Russell Jr., but Javante Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, man. A lot of back and forth. Ryan Garcia sounding all good. He sounded like he want to fight. Ryan Garcia sounded like he up for the task. He sounded like this is something that he wants to stand up and do on his own accord. He was on Mike Tyson's hot boxing or hot topic. I don't know. I don't give a flying what about him, man. He was on that, and then he was talking, saying, "Yeah, man, I'm ready to fight Javante Tank Davis. I'm ready to tear Javante Tank Davis out the frame." And all I could remember Javante Tank Davis saying the whole time was, "You see that shot that you caught from Luke Campbell? If it was me that you caught that shot from, it would be over." So, what's your take on Javante Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia? How you see that fight playing out, man? And bottom line, like, what's your overall take on basically the energy between the two fighters?
First of all, congratulations to Ryan Garcia on the win. You know what I mean? I give him that. He went out there, and I'll say like this: he fought a title contender, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can say Luke Campbell's not a title contender. So now take the training wheels off of him. He talking like he wanted. He been screaming Tank name for so long, bro. This like years in the making, right? It's years in the making. And I like Ryan Garcia. I ain't got nothing against him, right? So you screaming Tank name. You see Tank. You saying you want him, right? Yo, you got your promoter talking about you walk right through the tank. He walked right through the tank. A couple years ago, I just said no, but right now, Ryan's getting faster, stronger. He's getting better. Right now, he walks right through the tank. Okay, so now your promoter say he walks right through the tank. You on Mike Tyson hot boxing talking about you can't touch me. You need a ladder. So it's like it's on fire right now. This is the best time to make the fight. I don't want to hear nothing about Ryan, because I keep hearing people saying Ryan's not ready. He's only 22. This and that. Well, when will he be ready? He just knocked out a grown ass man. He just knocked out a grown ass man that's 33 years of age, 10 years older than him. So he's saying he wants to fight. He talking all this shit to Tank. I actually give him a shot. I do give him a shot. I say he got power. So whenever you got power, that's the equalizer for me. But I got Tank knocking his ass out. I got Tank knocking him out. But with that being said, he want the fight. He feel like he's ready for the fight. He's the fighter, right? He's the fighter. He the one telling Tank, there's no way out the fight now, right? You okay, y'all hear him. You guys hear him. You can't bag out now. You can't bag out. Send me the contract. I'm gonna sign it with my eyes closed. Like all these things add up. All these things add up. So he want the fight so bad, he knows, my brother. Put his ass in the ring and let's see what he can do. Take the training wheels off. You know what I'm saying? Look, the fight will sell, bro. It's a pay-per-view bout, right? It's pay-per-view. You bring both of them together. The promoters, y'all gonna make y'all money, right? Because that's what y'all care about anyway, filling up y'all coffins. Y'all gonna make y'all money, so y'all don't have to worry about the money. The money gonna be there for the fighters. The only thing it comes down to, in my eyes, is Oscar De La Hoya knowing you lost Canelo. So now Ryan Garcia is basically the hottest thing you got over there now. Same with Floyd Mayweather. You got a stable, but Javante Davis is the hottest thing you got. You know what I mean? So how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like, if Ryan lose, would it knock you down? Or if Tank lose, would it knock him down? Which I know Mayweather and them probably got more confidence in Tank than Oscar got in Ryan, especially with Oscar knowing, like, shit, if Tank knock his ass out, he's still all that thunder. That's a lot of thunder to take. But just being us as the fans, make the fight happen. Make it happen. Let's get it on, right? Let's see if Ryan Garcia, he talking all that shit. You need a Stairmaster to touch me, boy. You need a Stairmaster to touch me. You 5'5". You know what I mean? You want to talk like you Ali and shit like that. So, okay, well, let's see. how good you really is, right? Because like I say, I'm taking the training wheels off of him. I want to fight next. He knows. I want it next. I don't want no bars, no holding back. I don't want no excuses, none at all. Put him in the ring. I got Tank knocking him out, but I do give Ryan Garcia a shot because he got power. And sometimes you can get Tank to overreach, but Tank get a little wild himself. You know, Ryan got speed, he got accuracy. If you can get Tank reaching, and if you're in the right range and distance, you can land your shot, and we'll see if Tank can take it, right? But at the same time, we're gonna see if you can take that bulldog Tank. We're gonna see if you can take him. You know, it's a hell of a fight, bro. It's a hell of a fight. It's good for boxing right now. You know, I figured out something. You know, boxing is a young man's sport, bro. It's a young man's sport. And when we see these kids, they need to bring those type of eyes back to the sport. You know what I mean? To where you can get kids somehow, oh yeah, we want to see the fight. Because right now, if it's just 26 and up or 21 and up and the 30s and things of that nature, if you can get the teenagers and the young kids back into the sport to where they want to become boxers or they want to see the fights, then we can bring them extra dollars to the sport that they tell them what they want. But at the same time, you're still putting extra odds on the sports, extra odds on the sport as well. You know what I mean? So to me, it's good for boxing, bro. It's good for boxing. The press conference gonna be fire. You got Oscar De La Hoya, you got Floyd Mayweather, and you got Canelo at the same time. Even though Canelo was not messing with Oscar, he still ride with the young kid Ryan. You know, so it's a lot that go into it, bro. It's a lot that go into it. So for me, I want it next. I'm a campaign for it next. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a hell of a fight. I'm not gonna shit on Ryan Garcia because, like I say, I respect the kid. If he going on with Tank saying he want Tank, but when Tank knock his ass out, I just want everybody to give Tank his credit, bro. I want because they don't nobody want to get Tank credit for nothing, bro. They don't want to get Tank credit for nothing. Like it ain't never good enough, you know. Leo Santa Cruz, the 4th division world champion. Oh, he too small. He going on knock out Pedraza. Oh, he supposed to do that. You know what I mean? So they are just discredit everything he do. They're discredit. I was just having this argument with my bro Keon yesterday, bro. I say so. Y'all will give him credit, right? Y'all will discredit him, right, for knocking out Leo Santa Cruz. But at the same time, y'all want to see Tank fight Gary Russell Jr., who come from the same weight class as Leo Santa Cruz. And this ain't no knock on Gary Russell. I like him, but Leo Santa Cruz come from the same weight class as Gary Russell, right? Leo was the bigger name. I'm not saying he was the better fighter, nonetheless, because I would have picked Gary Russell to beat Leo. But at the same time, Leo still is a world champion, but he's too small. But Gary Russell not too small. You know? So it's always gonna be a catch-22 with Gervonta Davis right now. But let's put Bradley Beal let's put Tank and Ryan in that ring. And I asked him, I said, okay, so now since y'all didn't want to give him credit for Leo Santa Cruz, would y'all give him credit for Ryan Garcia? One person said yeah, one person said no. Right? I say, man, it ain't gonna never be good enough, bro.
Facts.
But I want the fight next, my brother. Let's put their ass in the ring and let's see what Ryan Garcia can do. Take the training wheels off now.
Man, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this because you're hitting a lot of points. And the way that we're gonna look at it like this, Money Brown, it's as simple as this, man. Ryan Garcia got a death wish. You ever watch that movie Death Wish?
all of them.
He got a death wish, bro. I'm telling you, man. Let me tell you something, man. Gervonta Tank Davis is gonna catch a body, and it's gonna be Ryan Garcia. Because when I saw that fight, and I saw that Ryan Garcia got hit, the way that he got hit by Luke Campbell. Now I gotta say, and a prediction, King strikes again. And a prediction, King strikes again. Because I was telling people, and I'm sure you was telling people, everybody was laughing at us. We was telling people that Ryan Garcia would be exactly where he was at. He was like, oh, he's garbage. Now look at all of these boxing community fan bases. They own Ryan Garcia's job. And so much so that Ryan Garcia is not only commanding people to come to fight, something that the super duper hype job variation, i.e. Teofimo Lopez, can't do. Something that Devin, overhead, choppy as fuck, or Devin, capping ass Haney can't do it. We're going to get onto that because we're going to talk about that. So I just dropped the video with Gary Russell Jr., so we're going to talk about that later. But what people got to understand is Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia are the cash cows of 135. So that fight right there is going to bring in a lot of people to the yard. Because when we sit there, salute to you, Jumpman 305. When we sit there, we look at the delineation, the gulf, the separation, and basically the division between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis, as it relates to all of the other 135 pounders, they don't stack up. They don't sell out arenas. Teofimo Lopez fight with Vasily Lomachenko was not a pay-per-view fight. And I don't care what anybody tell me. Ain't nobody know him like that. And the only reason why people was paying attention to Teofimo Lopez was because of Vasily Lomachenko. And Vasily Lomachenko is not even a bigger name. Is not even a big name like that in terms of marketability, but he's a big name in terms of boxing purists and boxing connoisseurs like us that know him and people that follow the sport. So Teofimo Lopez spent nearly 3 years hyping himself up and clout chasing off of Vasily Lomachenko. This is how people knew who Teofimo Lopez was. Now, it was great strategy on his part, great strategy on his dad's part. It worked out in their favor, but nobody was checking for them. Nobody knew who they were. It was them calling out Vasily Lomachenko. So that clearly shows you guys the namesake that Vasily Lomachenko had, that for 3 years he could do this, and 3 years he was able to make a name for himself off of that. But he can't sell a cookout, let alone a chicken dinner. That's why the fight wasn't pay-per-view. Gervonta Tank Davis had a pay-per-view fight against Leo Santa Cruz, not only in a soft market pay-per-view, which is a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, But he also had it during COVID, bruh. COVID. I mean, come on. If you ain't more cash cow than that, what is cash cow? Then we have to look at the cachet of Leonard Ellerbe, man. Leonard Ellerbe is a cachet type of guy. He doesn't get enough credit for that. This is a guy that goes for the bat for his fighters. People want to sit there in the comment section, clown his nose. They want to clown this. They want to clown that. But people got to understand, this is why I tell people, it's very important to fall your ass up on the Floyd Mayweather so you can be crispier than a three-piece. Mayweather's the ultimate moneymaker. So, of course, it's going to be a domino effect. And, of course, it's going to be a residual for Gervonta Tank Davis. Because let's keep it real. Gervonta Tank Davis can't speak. He can't speak worth 2 licks, man. It's like when Mike Tyson talking. It ain't like me and you. They got the gift of gab and we can talk. Gervonta Tank Davis can't put his words together like that. But it's because he's around the right fucking team, man. And when you're around the right team, they know how to build you up rightfully, unlike Devin Haney, who's not around the right team. And that's why Devin Haney's a parasite to Gervonta Tank Davis's host. Devin Haney's career is just off of the strength of him clout chasing off of Gervonta Tank Davis. But this fight, to me, is going to be the fight that's going to be the cash cow version of 135. Whereas Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney is basically going to be the fight versus a super duper hype job variation and a capping ass Devin Haney. Now, when I look at Ryan Garcia, I give him the cojones of 135 because he's doing something we haven't seen since Andre Ward, bro. Andre Ward had a Super Six that went on, and he dominated all of the guys in the Super Six. He dominated the Arthur Abrahams of the world. He dominated, you know what I'm saying, the Saki Ikas of the world. I mean, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. He's dominated those guys, right? Ryan Garcia is asking for that. And because of that, it's made him the people's champion. Now, you got a whole bunch of boxing pundits and a whole bunch of people that's running their rabbit-ass mouths and telling you, well, you know, at the end of the day, people's champion don't mean nothing. You got to step into the square circle. You got to do what you got to do. But my thing is this. If you're challenging yourself to be great, you get a salute of the day for that. Now, even though Gervonta Tank Davis is going to knock his ass out and Gervonta Tank Davis is going to catch a body, we still got to give Ryan Garcia credit. And when Devin Haney said Ryan Garcia is avoiding me, so that's why he went the other route, you dodo head, you brain full of mush, you brainwashed follower. Don't you realize Gervonta Tank Davis is a harder opponent than you? Gervonta Tank Davis is harder because Ryan Garcia has to account for not only his power, he got to account for his speed, he got to account for Gervonta Tank Davis's ability. I done told people, man, Gervonta Tank Davis is special at 135 because he has 3 fighters in him. He has Roy Jones Jr.'s athleticism. He has Mike Tyson's power, and he has Floyd Mayweather's pool count extraordinary ability, all sprinkled into one. And I know when you sat there and you said in the Leo Santa Cruz fight, Gervonta Tank Davis was getting touched up, and Gervonta Tank Davis has a tendency to get touched up. But here's the thing. Front foot dominant fighters are going to get wet a little bit. I don't know a front foot dominant fighter that's 100% perfect. Earl the True Smith is a front foot dominant fighter. He get wet a little bit. You're going to get wet a little bit. As long as when you get wet a little bit, you're not taking no serious damage and it's grazing shots, it is what it is. In that Leo Santa Cruz fight, Gervonta Tank Davis wasn't taking shots that put him in any precarious situation, any troubles. He was just taking shots so that he could get down the inches and the distance. Because sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to take a little bit and you got to get wet a little bit so you can measure your opponent that's in front of you so you can know how to systematically break them down. And what happened? Once Gervonta Tank Davis got the inch and the distance down, that uppercut came because he realized the uppercut was the key. And Leo Santa Cruz had a one-Manuel Marquez to a Manny Pacquiao. We didn't even know if he was going to get the hell up. So when I look at Ryan Garcia and I look at the shot that he got from Luke Campbell, I know that Gervonta Tank Davis, the same shot that Gervonta Tank Davis would hit him with, he would drop him emphatically. He would demolish him, man. He would destroy him. And what people got to understand is Gervonta Tank Davis's boxing ability is underrated. Just look at the 3 common opponents that fought Eucurus Gamboa. Gervonta Tank Davis had the best fight against Eucurus Gamboa. And you know, Monnie, they say boxing triangle theories don't work. I don't believe that. In some instances, they do. Just like with Sean Porter, it works. Eucurus Gamboa is another person that it works with, man, because he gave Terrence Bud Crawford the stanky leg. He turned him from a bow-legged individual into a straight individual overnight. And then this same Eucurus Gamboa, it took Gervonta Tank Davis that had to go into the tool yard and the tool shed to really show you in his deep tool bag his boxing ability. And he dropped them 3 times for it. And then that same Gamboa exposed the fact that Devin Haney is susceptible to counterpunching. I don't know why Devin Haney fanboys don't want to come to this truth, man, about Devin Haney. Since the Alfredo Santiago fight, he's been susceptible to counterpunching. And then he throws a choppy as fuck overhand right that makes it predictable. I knew from that fight on, because I went back and did the film study on that fight after I watched the fight, and I said, okay, Houston, we have a fucking problem here with Devin Haney. And I'm high on Devin Haney stock. Can't nobody tell me that I don't like Devin Haney, because you remember, bro, I dropped a lot of videos where I said Devin Haney is that dude. But it was because he was up under the Mayweathers. Bill Haney is not good for Devin Haney. Bill Haney is not a trainer, let alone a manager. And you see, you know this term, because this is some hood nigga shit fashion, bro. You know the terminology when we say there's African Americans, there's Negroes, and there's niggas. Bill Haney's a nigga because Bill Haney got sized up by Floyd Mayweather Sr. and he felt some type of way about that, man. He got sized up by Floyd Money Mayweather and he felt some type of way because they told him, you're not what you think that you are. You need to learn up under us, and then eventually you get where you're going. Leonard Ellaby sized his ass up. So you know what he did? Instead of taking it up, humbling himself, bending the effing knee, and kissing the ring while you at it, like they do with the Pope, you know what he did? He took his son, took him out of the damn gym, and said, I'm going to be your trainer/manager. When I saw in that Alfredo Santiago fight, he was yelling at his son and say, fight like Roy Jones Jr., fight like Roy Jones Jr. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's not no trainer/boxing. Do you not understand your son is fundamentally different than Roy Jones Jr.? They don't have the same mechanics as boxers. So why are you telling him to fight that way? Clearly, it's a downside for Devin Haney. That's why when I came to that conclusion, I said, you know what? I see why Teofimo Lopez is calling him out, because Teofimo Lopez actually look at him like he's a cherry picker. That's what Teofimo Lopez, a lot of people don't want to be honest with themselves, but Teofimo Lopez is looking at Devin Haney like a cherry picker. That's why him and the dad is calling him out, because they know, based on the last 2 performances, if they're able to land shots on this kid, it's going to be a problem. Now, I still got Devin Haney beating Teofimo Lopez, but here's the clause. He needs to fall up under Mayweather. He needs to bend the effing knee and kiss the ring and say, you know what, Floyd Mayweather, I need to be completely, totally, and underly up under you. Because if that's not the case, I'm not going to be crispier than a fucking 3-piece like we eat at fucking Popeyes, bro. What you got to say, fam?
This just me. I'm going to keep it real. You know, I'm going to keep it real. If he don't have no power to keep T.O. off his ass, or like you say, be all the way on this shit, be all the way on this shit, like you say, with the Mayweather, then, bro, I don't know how you beat Teofimo. Because one thing you need something to keep somebody off your ass. I understand what they're saying about, and I'm not saying Teofimo got the best defense, because he don't. He don't. We seen Loma touch Teofimo with everything that he wanted to hit him with. Yeah. Devin Haney is not that kind. Devin Haney, he's a pop shotter. You know what I'm saying? He's a pop shotter. He go forward. He could sit down and bang it out with you. But if he do sit down and bang it out with you, what happened if he get caught with that power, my brother? You see what I'm saying? And I'm with you. Like, I rock with Devin Haney, bro. I want him to win. I want him to be the best Devin Haney that he can be. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be the best Devin Haney that he can be, bro. And to me, he was the best Devin Haney up under the Mayweathers. I mean, this is not no knock to nobody, bro. This is no knock to nobody. You know what I mean? Like the business is the business. They go do what they want to do anyway. We just calling it how we see it, bro.
Yep.
We just calling it how we see it, bro.
Yep.
We think the reason why, you know, they went and got Mickey Bay, right? Let's keep it real. They know the Big Floyd, you know, he ain't Big Floyd, but by him training under the Mayweathers, he got the format. You know what I'm saying? He got the format. So it's like, okay, we know that's the format that Big Floyd uses. It's Mickey Bay. But what's one thing that Bill Haney can do to Mickey Bay that he can't do to Big Floyd? Sit your ass down, get out the way. It's my turn now. But with Big Floyd, look here, man. Look, man. I'm not here to be no side. Nuh-uh, man. That's not working, man. Either I'm the trainer, man, or I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and I'm not saying that he can't be successful with his pops. This is no knock the Bill. Like I say, the business gonna be the business. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do anyway, bro. But you need that real trainer in the corner that's been doing this shit for his entire life. You feel me? And Bill, I know you've been with your son your entire life, but inside that ring, giving them orders, being a real trainer, that's not you, my brother. It's not you. You feel me? You can handle the business outside the ring. You can put your insights in on what's going on, bring in the trainers and things of that nature. But when you get to that top level, when these motherfuckers is not playing, because Teofimo is a motherfucking killer. I like him. You feel me? Tank to knock him the fuck out. Let's not get it misunderstood. But you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got Devin don't got that Tank power. You know what I'm saying? Devin, like you say, Devin don't go forward like Tank. And to me, you know, Devin is a more pure boxer, but I think Tank got better skills. Tank got better skills, bro. Go look at Tank versus Jesus Cuellar. And y'all don't see the skill set in Gervonta Davis.
Good fight reference, bro. Good fight reference.
When you want to show a skill set, you know what I mean? So, like I say, Devin is a pure boxer, bro. You're going to have some strong ass legs and outbox T.O. for that whole 12 rounds. Whole 12 rounds, because that's a young man with energy. Teofimo is a young man with energy. You know, so I like the fight. I want the fight to happen. But I want Devin to be on his best shit. You know what I'm saying? We pulling for Dev. This ain't no knock. You know, even though I got in that little one piece of shit Latino ass, you know what I mean? But I like Teofimo. I don't like him like the shit he said about Wild. I feel like was some bullshit. I think he should have shut his mouth on that. You know,
I agree with that.
But inside the ring, I'm not gonna knock nobody in their skills. So I ain't gonna take it from him. You know, but I'm telling you, Devin is gonna have to be all the way on his shit. He knows, my brother.
Crispy in a 3-piece, though.
Yeah, to beat Teofimo, to beat Teofimo Lopez. Because one thing we know, power shots, like, okay, let's just say Dev on point with his jab. He popping. If you get hit with one hard ass power shot, boom, that's gonna take all that shit away. You know, how they outscore power shots, and then they looking at him. He got the complexion for the connection, so he already got up on you already. You know what I'm saying? Going into the ring, he got up on you already. So at the end of the day, man, you got to be smart. You got to be aware of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Take your career serious. And I'm not saying Dev don't even work his ass off, you know, but that's a challenge. That's a challenge, bro. And you got to be crispy than a motherfucking 3-piece, like my brother Noah says, to beat Teofimo. Because if you ain't got that equalizer, bro, if you ain't got that power, right? If you ain't got that power, you're gonna have to have the skill set of a pure boxer to hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see when it happens. I'm pulling for Devin. I'm pulling for him. But I gotta get Teofimo the edge in that fight. If they get in there right now, I gotta get Teofimo the edge, bro.
I agree with you, man. And see, this is what people understand. What he knows the sport is facts over feelings, dog. I ain't got time to be sitting here and having feelings because I gotta be. Listen, can't nobody tell me. They know the catalog, just like your catalog. That's why we laugh when people say you a sellout. My catalog is very clear. I'm always for my own over any and everybody. But at the same time, I gotta be honest with my own when they're not doing what they supposed to. When I looked at Devin Haney and I saw him up under Mayweather, the reason why I was high on him is because he fell up under Mayweather. He bent the effing knee. He kissed the ring the whole damn time. and he was crispier than a damn three-piece. As soon as he left, chinks became in the armor. Devin Haney got too many yes men in his corner. His biggest yes man is Bill Haney. Bill Haney's just not of this world, man. He's a low rent P. Diddy. He's not telling the truth. Because the problem with people and them not telling the truth, when you got a nigga like this that don't tell the truth, your son is going to get exposed. I'm not going to be high on Devin Haney where I'm going to sit here and say people are ducking Devin Haney. Devin Haney is just namesake right now. The reason why he's a parasite and the reason why he's actually living by the whole totality of the full name of email champion is because Devin Haney, salute to you, Eric Bolden, is because Devin Haney, and we got to be honest with ourselves, bro. He got too many people telling him he's good. He's doing what he got to do. He got a whole supposed black community fan base behind him telling him lies. You can't lie to a person, man. You got to be honest with them. He ducked Gary Russell Jr. Now, when we look at between him and Gary Russell Jr., we can see who was on the right wave and who was on the wrong curve and who was on the wrong wave. Because Bill Haney knew. That's why you saw Bill Haney got in between the whole Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney. He knew his son wasn't ready for Gary Russell Jr. The Curious Gamboa fight told us everything we needed to know, Monty Brown. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Gary Russell Jr. is younger than Curious Gamboa. He's sharper than him. His boxing faculties and wits are there at a higher and a faster pace. And what is Gary Russell Jr. known for? His speed. He was going to expose Devin Haney on such a level that wasn't going to be funny. And Bill Haney knew this. This is why Bill Haney did all of these little things financially or all of these little crippled things to make sure that Gary Russell Jr. didn't get that fight because he knew his son wasn't ready. What Bill Haney has to understand is, and Andre Ward said this best, the great Andre Ward said it, fighters have to understand they have to be built up slowly because there's levels to this stuff. There's gears. Like Meek Mill say, there's levels to this stuff, dog. There's gears. People got to understand, as you moving up the levels, you ain't going to be knocking people out. So like the great Andre Ward always say, when the knockouts are not there and the knockouts can't sustain you, what else do you have? A lot of people fell for the fact that Devin Haney knocked out Anthony Moran. That was a lame duck that was put in front of him because he was just going to Matchroom Sports. So they had to give him somebody to where Devin Haney could come out with a bang. I know this. You know this, Monty Brown, because we've been around boxing. We know how this shit is. You get a lame duck, especially when you start a new promotional company so that you could stand out. What has happened since then? Has he been knocking people out? And people kept saying Devin Haney's going to grow into his grown man strength. He's a fucking grown man. He's been a grown man for a minute now. Shakur Stevenson been a grown man, and we see Shakur Stevenson has grown into his grown man strength. Devin Haney does not have strength. So Devin Haney has to basically have to use what's called boxing skills, which he does have, but in order for it to be refined, in order for it to come out in its full totality and full weight and full gravity, it has to be up under Floyd Mayweather's tutelage. But here's the problem. So-called black community fan bases, they can't stand Floyd Mayweather. They can't stand his true alpha extraordinaire governed by true alpha economics ways. So because of that, they're pushing them away from Floyd and saying, yeah, stay up under Bill Haney. That's the wrong move to make. Because when you love your brother, you chastise your brother. When you love your brother, you correct your brother. When you love your brother, you give your brother admonition. So I love Devin Haney. So I'm giving him correction. I'm giving him chastisement. I'm giving him admonition. Stop having a bunch of yes men around. Stop fucking Black China because it's taking all your damn man juice. And basically dedicate yourself to the craft. Dedicate yourself to the gym. Get your weight up. Stop being a parasite and clout chasing off of Devin Haney. Fall up under Mayweather so Mayweather can have you crispier than a three-piece. And when people start being honest with themselves and they start telling themselves these truths about Devin Haney, and guess what? Devin Haney's going to become the fighter that me and you see the potential that he has to become. But if not, and he fights Teofimo Lopez, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. That's just the way that I see it, man. I got to call a spade a spade. I got to keep it real, and I got to keep it a buck. I'm just going to call it the way that I see it, and it's facts over feelings, man. At this point, I got the super duper hype job variation just a notch above Devin Haney because Devin Haney has been slipping since the Alfredo Santiago fight. Anybody that's listening, and I know Monty Brown does his film study, go back and watch from the Alfredo Santiago fight and go back and watch the Hkhs Gamboa fight. You're going to see two things that's prevalent. Devin Haney's susceptible to counterpunching, and Devin Haney gets discouraged when he gets too many shots. You can see it in his face. You see it.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have to, bro. You're going to have to, because I'm telling you, power is everything, dog. Power is everything. And like I say, everybody got a plan until they get hit. And
there you go.
One thing I know about power punchers, because T.O., he got some power, bro. He got some power. Push come to shove. Push come to shove. I don't give a damn how good of a boxer you is. If you hit a motherfucker and you can't hurt him, and the motherfucker got some pop, and they decide to say fuck this shit, you got to kill me or I'm gonna kill you. That's when it get interesting. That's when it get very interesting, bro. It come down to, okay, now he gonna put the pressure on your ass. But what these dudes know now, bro, they know to go to the body to wear their damn legs down. So what happens when they start hitting you to the body? Because Tank gonna break your ass down. I don't care what they talking about. You put Devin Haney in the ring with Tank, he going to sleep. I tell people that all the time. They be, Money, get the fuck out of here. That shit, okay. Put him in there with him. Put him in there with him. Y'all keep talking about some damn spawn that happened all the way back in 1999. We don't want to hear about no goddamn spawn. We ain't got on smaller gloves and you ain't got on no headgear. Because I'm quite sure when spawn, if he would have hit you one of them motherfucking shots with no headgear, it'd have rung your motherfucking bell. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, you better get the right coaching, you better get the right mindset. And the one thing about Devin Haney that I don't like at the moment is you get caught up in trying to show power. You feel me? Like, play to your strengths. If you know you're a masterful boxer, be a masterful boxer. You don't have to go out saying, "Oh, I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna do this," because we know that you don't possess that. You don't possess it. It's okay, because you can catch a motherfucker with something that they don't see and knock him out because you're a slick boxer. But when you go out there, you try to force a knockout, and you find yourself in certain situations that you've never been in. That's some shit become uncharted territory for you. You be looking like, what the fuck do I supposed to do now? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, Devin Haney got to play to his strengths, bro. He got to be a master in the ring. You got to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out there, outclass him for 12 rounds, frustrate him. You know what I mean? And then go to work. But you going out there and they fight, because that shows the age. That shows the age. That means you still they can mentally mind fuck you. They can still say, okay, well, you ain't got no power. You weak. And you want to go out there and try to show you got power, and now you playing their game. Now they got your ass sit down trying to bang, and guess what? Now they hitting your ass with shit that you can't take. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's gonna take for you to be smart. It's gonna take for you to have a coach that's keeping you smart. You know what I'm saying? That's telling you the truth. You feel me? And then, like you say, that's how you get the best out of your fighter. That's how you get the best out of your fighter.
That's true, man. And see, I'm glad you said that and you expounded upon that. But you know why he's went away from the boxing ability? Truth be told, Monty, is because he doesn't have Floyd Money Mayweather. He doesn't have Floyd Sr. in his ears. These guys are hardline, totalitarian, disciplinarian. They're dictators, man, in the way they teach you. You could see that with Gervonta Tank Davis and the way that he was teaching Gervonta Tank Davis how to step to the side, how when you're in exchanges, how to get your punches off. He prepped Gervonta Tank Davis for Leo Santa Cruz so well, man, because he knew that Leo Santa Cruz was going to come in with that bullshit come forward Mexican style, and that's that smothering style, so you got to know how to handle it. Basically, he gave Gervonta Tank Davis the game plan that he had for Marcos Maidana, how to get your accurate shots off while he's trying to do that bullshit come forward smothering Mexican style. And that's what happened. And Gervonta Tank Davis knew that he was going to go into those exchanges. And as soon as he realized that, Gervonta Tank Davis said, okay, so every time I'm in those exchanges, I'm going to throw something meaningful. And that's what happened. He threw something meaningful, and they kept systematically breaking Leo Santa Cruz down round after round. These are the little gems and the jewels and the techniques that Devin Haney was learning from Floyd Mayweather. Just going to Floyd Mayweather for one season is not going to get you that. You need to be up under Floyd Mayweather. You need to bend the effing knee. You need to kiss the ring 12 months out of the year. Because Devin Haney does two things that I like. He's a work ethic rat. He's a gym rat. These are two things that I like about him. But I like it when he's doing that and it's Floyd Mayweather in his ears. not anybody else. If it ain't the Mayweathers in your ears, then ain't, because what people gotta understand is Devin Haney's skill set was adopted and learned and taught up from the Mayweathers.
Preach.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. So if your skill set was taught, learned, and adopted from the Mayweathers, how you gonna go away from what made you where you at? How you gonna go away from what made you eat? How you gonna go away from what made you who you were? It don't make sense. This means that you listening to your father too much. Last time I checked, the fighter is the boxer, not the trainer / manager. It's the fighter. So he's gonna have to make a decision, because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's an easy way to learn this lesson and there's a hard way to learn this lesson. Devin Haney needs to pick and choose. The easy way is to fire Bill Haney. Yes, I'm gonna say it. Fire Bill Haney and basically fall up under the Mayweathers so that you could learn some things and you could take yourself, because he's not going back now. He's gonna be positioning himself for bigger fights. This means he's stepping up in competition. So if you're stepping up in competition, that means you got to make sure your tool yard and your tool shed is sharp as you know what each and every fight. Or you're going to take a step back. And this is what I think is going to happen, Money Brown. I'm going to call this. So I'm going to say in a pre-prediction, King strikes again, dog. He's going to stay with Bill Haney. He's going to get exposed. He's going to lose one of his most humbling fights. And then that's when you're going to see him and his dad have the most epic public meltdown. And people are going to remember this live when He Knows the Sport told y'all this. And He Knows the Sport predicted this in Nostradamus fashion. He's going to get dominated. He's going to get embarrassed. He's going to get exposed. And then everybody's going to say at that point, oh, he should have fired Bill Haney. But He Knows the Sport been telling y'all all along that's what should have happened. See, when it's all said and done, there's some fighters, there's some fathers that get it and some that don't. Now, why do you think I respect Earl Spence Sr. so much? Because Earl Spence Sr. gets it. I don't need to be the trainer / manager for me to be in my son's affairs, but I'm going to be around him and I'm going to advise him. Some fathers can take that role. Every father doesn't have to live vicariously through their son and be the trainer / manager, especially when they're leading their son into the ditch. And we all know the good book tells us the blind leads the blind into the ditch. And that's what's happening. Bill Haney is leading Devin Haney to the ditch. I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? I got to be the one to lead the charge and tell motherfuckers this shit. And I see that you leading the charge on your end and you telling people this too as well. We have to be honest with our own people when we need to be honest with them, even when it's a message that they don't want to hear. I get it. Y'all high on Devin Haney. But Devin Haney is email champion status right now. And until he can prove that he can fight a quality opposition opponent and beat them emphatically, not get exposed like he did in the Gamboa fight. I don't know what y'all was watching. And I got glasses. So I don't know what y'all was watching. The freaking Alfredo Santiago fight, when he got exposed, I don't know what y'all was watching saying he thoroughly dominated him. I need to be honest with these fighters, man. Facts over feelings, bro. I mean, they don't do that. Now we're going to segue into the next topic, Money Brown. Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney. Here's my thing, man. You know, you had a lot of black community fan bases that was high on Gary Russell Jr. I've been paying attention to it because I pay attention to everything, all finite details. They was high on Gary Russell Jr. They were saying, man, Gary Russell Jr. capping. Remember with Terrence Buck Crawford? He broke Terrence Buck Crawford's jaw. They was building Gary Russell Jr. up. But then out of nowhere, when they started getting interviews with Devin Haney, they started sitting here and Devin Haney's now all of a sudden their person, their spokesman. They went ahead and spit Gary Russell Jr. out. They basically treated Gary Russell Jr. like he was Jesus, and they treated Devin Haney. No, they treated Gary Russell Jr. like he was Jesus, and they acted like Judas Iscariot. They were betrayers, man. They acted as if Gary Russell Jr. didn't exist no more. All along, when Gary Russell Jr. was telling us what was going on, see, one thing that I noticed with Gary Russell Jr., and I've been paying attention to him very much so, and you could tell me, because you probably know a little bit more than me on the inside track. When you see Gary Russell Jr. go on these soliloquies where he just keep talking and he keep yapping, there's truth behind what he's saying. Because he just don't do it for, if you notice, he been quiet for a little minute now. But every time he go on his rants, it's because of something. Like, for instance, when he said he broke Terrence Buck Crawford's jaw, you had so many people that came out and admitted, oh yeah, he broke Terrence Buck Crawford's jaw. When he sat there and said that Devin Haney's an amateur professional, People was laughing. Nobody paid attention, but he told the truth. And you know, that's when they started turning against him. That's when they became turncoats. That's when they became Benedict Arnold, and that's when they became Judas Iscariot against Gary Russell Jr. And I notice now they're not pushing Gary Russell Jr. the way they pushed him before. And it's now all about pushing Devin Haney. If we about our people, like we say that we are, Monty Brown, we should be pushing up everybody that looks like us. Everybody that looks like Monty, everybody that looks like he knows, everybody that looks like us, we should be pushing them up. Why do you think I'm not a fan of pushing up Devin Haney, but sitting down Javante Tank Davis? I'm not a fan of that, bro.
He knows. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you, fam.
It seemed like you going like you talking, but you off track a little bit. I don't know if it's on my end or your end. I wonder if it's my end.
Salute, contender.
Contender regime, my brother.
Yeah, that's my brother right there, man, from another mother, though. Anytime I hear that cat, anytime I listen to that cat, anytime I've dealt with that cat, he's been copacetic with me from day one, and I'm copacetic with him right back, man. That, you know, real recognizes real, man. Monnie, real one, dog, from day one. Y'all some real cats, man. So salute to y'all, respect to y'all, man. Salute to you, contender regime. Salute to you with the super chat, man. But yeah, as matter of fact, contender brought it up. He says, salute, brothers. Keep in mind, Mickey Bay trains Devin Haney, and Mickey Bay is from the Mayweather school. The pedigree runs deep. I hear you, contender. And contender, my boy, dog. But I'm going to tell you, Mickey Bay ain't Mayweather, dog. You know this, contender. Mickey Bay nice, but Mickey Bay ain't Mayweather. And Mickey Bay has had some moments in his boxing career. See, I don't want to open no wounds, but he's had some moments in his boxing career where he didn't always follow the Mayweather pedigree. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. And you the homie, but I'm just saying. When it's all said and done, Devin Haney has to be. We saw last year on Monty Brown when Devin Haney was right there in the gym with Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
That needs to be Devin Haney 12 months out of the year.
And let me say
that gym with Floyd Mayweather taking those tips.
Let me say this. He knows. Another thing too, contender. When you say that Mickey Bay trains him, he trains him when he getting ready. But inside that ring, who's training?
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? And that's the difference. They can make a whole difference in the ring, bro. It can make a whole, like if that was Mickey Bay inside the ring giving him the instructions, I say he trained him. He trained him to get ready, but he's not training him like when in the heat of the fire, bro. In the heat of the fire, it's like I'm just gonna call it how I see it, bro. I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. I never sugarcoat shit.
Don't sugarcoat.
How you feel about it, right? You want Mickey to train him outside the ring, but you don't want him giving instructions inside the ring. It don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that. If me and he knows drawing up, if me and he knows going to war, and we got the instructions, and he knows like Monty, I know what we need to hit. We need to block this off. We need to block this off. We need armies here. We need generals here. We need to be here. We need to be there. Then all of a sudden, you just snatch. He knows is you just snatch. He knows his sports out the way and plug a motherfucker in that just been listening. No, you take away a whole like the mental aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? You take that away and you not seeing what he knows, see, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta be real about the situation. And like I say, man, I fuck with Dev. I like Bill Haney, they real. They go out there, they say they want the smoke, but at the end of the day, when the heat of the fire is on, bro, you know what I mean? And when it get thick, when shit get thick, because right now he's doing what he's supposed to do against fighters he's supposed to do against. Exactly. When you are the motherfucker that got the same skill set and like on the same level,
Lopez.
Exactly. What instruction do you give them? Because like I say, right now, if you put Devin Haney in there with Teofimo, I got to get Teofimo the edge. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say it like this, contender. I know you don't want to hear it. I know it's gonna be hard on your ears, bro. But Teofimo Lopez knocks out Devin Haney at this stage because Devin Haney don't got Mayweather in his ears. Because the reason why I say this, contender, and I'm glad you said big facts makes a huge difference. I thought Haney should have stayed with Big Floyd, is because you need that instruction. You need somebody like that at that level to be in your ears. Andre Ward talked about it. He said if he didn't have Virgil Hunter in his ears, the second half of that Sergey Kovalev fight, he don't know how he would have made it out. It's a difference. This is what Monty Brown's talking about and speaking to. There's levels to this stuff, man. There's gears, man. And you gotta have levels and gears in your ear in championship round boxing. Because if you don't have that, I'm telling you, man, you gonna get exposed. And Devin Haney needs to humble himself because lately he's been capping off too much, making everybody think that he's this and he's that. But listen, man, when you had your bigger fights against your Curious Gamboa, we saw you was getting touched up too many times. I watched that fight and I just saw, man, this guy's susceptible to counterpunching. If he was up on the Floyd or Senior, they would have made sure his boxing was so crispy that he wasn't touching up shots like that. Gamboa would have got him, but it wouldn't have been that much. It would have been grazing shots. Look at the difference between Gamboa when he fought Gervonta Tank Davis, and this was a Gervonta Tank Davis that missed weight. This was a Gervonta Tank Davis that didn't even look like the way he did against Leo Santa Cruz. But look at the difference between his performance and Devin Haney's performance. Gervonta Tank Davis got some shots, but he grazed most of the big shots that could have hurt him. And that was the difference, man. That was the big difference. Hey, if Contender want to jump on, man, let me know, fam. Hey, you know, your invitation is always welcome, bro. So let me know in the comment section if you want to jump on, man. If you want to jump on, I'm gonna go ahead and send you the link, dog, so we can hear your take on it. But the way that I look at it, Monty Brown, is as simple as this, man. Devin Haney got to eat some humble pie because right now he's got a WBC belt, but he doesn't have no namesake and he doesn't have no heavyweight lifting validation to verify the belt that he has. Right now, it's just a belt. And people gonna keep calling you an email champion until they see that you've knocked down a quality opponent. See, I can feel the way that I feel about Teofimo Lopez, and we're gonna talk about that next with Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. I can feel the way that I feel that it was a bribery and a robbery, right? But nevertheless, the boxing scoring decision judges they said that he won the fight, right? But that's a namesake that he has on his column. Regardless how I feel, that's a namesake that he has on the column. Okay, Contender, you want in? Got you, bro. I got you. That's my biggest issue, bro. My biggest issue with it is when we sit here and we look at Teofimo Lopez, fam, right? And we tell ourselves that Teofimo Lopez, you know what I'm saying, is a fighter that
just for Contender, everybody. Just for Contender.
There you go. I'm glad he's jumping up in this thing. To me, is a fighter that even though he got exposed in the Vasily Lomachenko fight, even though Vasily started out slow, Vasily was hitting him with counterpunching shots. He was exposing him in a lot of ways. I don't see the fight the way a lot of people see it. And see, what I saw, Monnie, and I'm going to be honest with you, I saw a lot of reverse racists and a lot of reverse bias. I'm going to just keep it real. I had cats that was messing with me, calling me a sellout because I'm saying that Vasily Lomachenko, to me, won the fight. But that's what my eyes saw. I don't know what your eyes saw, but that's what my eyes saw. We're going to jump right back to Devin Haney. Contender Regime, what's up, bro?
Hold on. Hey, that shit kind of popping. Hey, my shit popping? Like, is it staticky?
No, you good.
I can hear you, bro. I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, man, first and foremost, man, I want to say salute to y'all, brothers, man. I appreciate everything y'all do. Y'all always 100, man, kicking that real shit. So that's out top. But already. But now, look, niggas can say, oh, Teofimo gonna knock him out. I call that nigga Teofimo Lopez. Look, you can say he gonna knock him out. You can say Tank gonna do this, and I think the toughest, the biggest matchup is gonna be between Tank, Shakur, and Devin. That's what I believe. But you can say Teofimo gonna do this, he gonna do that. We don't know shit until these niggas get in the ring. Y'all know I'm the biggest Earl Spence Jr. fan on the planet, nigga, and I'm gonna support for the city all day, 100. You know what I'm saying? Stump down, 10 toes down. But we don't know.
Right next to you with that. Right next to you with that with Earl Spence.
Hey, big fact, but hold up. We don't know what the fuck gonna happen in the Terrence Crawford fight and Earl Spence fight until them niggas get in the ring, bro. That's big facts, and I'm keeping it all the way 100. You can say what you think gonna happen, but until these niggas make these fights, niggas don't know what the fuck gonna happen, bro. And Devin Haney, I agree with y'all. I feel like Devin should have stayed with Big Floyd. That's facts. I never understood why. I don't know if it was because Big Floyd was getting old. I don't know what it was, but I felt like he should have stayed. And keep in mind, you can't say he should be training with Floyd because Floyd really just started training. Like, He
No,
really not even a full-fledged
trainer. We're talking about Big Floyd, not Floyd.
Right now, I'm just saying. So as far as with Big Floyd, I don't know why them niggas parted ways. I don't know what happened there.
Bill Haney and Floyd got
Bill Haney, bro. Bill Haney.
Right. I felt like they should have stayed. You know what I'm saying? But keep in mind, with Devin Haney, bro, I know what I see with Devin Haney. The brother got skills. He got the intellect. He got the boxing IQ. He got the athleticism, and he got the physical dimensions that you can't teach this shit. You can't teach arm reach. You can't teach length. You can't teach a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, hand speed. And he does have respectable power, even though these people try to paint a picture like he can't knock nobody out. Like 2 or 3 fights ago, he didn't just knock a nigga out cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll say, oh, you didn't stop Gamboa, but nigga, you stopped somebody that's bigger than Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? That's actually a natural 135 pounder. So all I'm saying, bro, we can say Telefimo gonna knock him, and you can say all this shit, but until these niggas quit ducking and quit getting on that bitch made ass shit, talking about he the email champion, all this, Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney. That's a fact. Telefimo Lopez do not want to fight Devin Haney. Those are facts. So why is we criticizing Devin Haney because these niggas don't want no smoke? That's what I don't understand. Why we criticizing him? It ain't like the Terrence Crawford situation where he got a promotional outfit that literally saves him from being in certain type of fights. When it does get to a point to where he can get a good competitive fight, Bob Arum don't want to pay nobody. This ain't the case with Devin Haney. These niggas literally don't want to fight him because stylistically it's a terrible matchup for him. They don't want to. I'm gonna tell you, bro. They don't want to go out there and risk that whole mystique of them being this motherfucking monster. They don't want to risk that shit going down the image. They don't want to risk that, bro. They want that mystique to stay up. Oh, I'm the best. I'm the hardest hitter. I'm the hardest hitter at 135. I got the most power. I knock everybody out. But when you get in there with Devin Haney, he gonna make you miss and make you pay. It's gonna look like a boring fight, and niggas gonna be like, damn, that nigga really ain't as scary as I thought he was. That's what they don't want, bro. That's all I'm saying. Right. So I just feel like niggas need to quit all this. Man, stop caping for Telefimo. Fuck that nigga, man. Stop caping for Telefimo, man. Hold on. I ain't showing that nigga no love, man. Fuck that bullshit, man.
Look, fuck what other people saying about.
I ain't showing that nigga no love, nigga.
Look, I'm rad for Devin Haney against Telefimo, right? Right?
Yeah.
One thing I'm not gonna do though, look, motherfuckers is not gonna like what like I told he knows what Telefimo said about Wilder. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, right? I don't give a fuck about what the Latino community talking about or none of that shit. I go off my own perspective and what I see. Like I'm not going to take credit away from no fighter in the ring. I'm not going to take shit away from nobody inside that square circle, right? So when I look at Telefimo and I see what Telefimo doing right now, right? And I look at Devin Haney and I see what Devin Haney doing. I respect Devin Haney. That's my guy. I'm pulling for him to beat Telefimo 120%, bro. But just looking at both of their styles right now, I do see Devin giving him problems. But like I said, you're gonna have to have some power, bro. And I'm not saying Devin don't got power. I'm not saying that. I seen Lomachenko hit Telefimo with everything you wanted to hit him with, right? I hit him with everything you wanted to hit him with. But that's not Devin Haney's style. His style is not Lomachenko's style. When going forward, you feel me? We know Devin is a pop shotter. He's a hell of a boxer. He's a pop shotter. And that's what I want him to do. Stick to being that. Don't try to come out and be a power puncher and try to hit like a power puncher because that shit is not going to work. It's not going to work, bro. When you fight them, they got real pop. Telefimo got real pop. You feel me? He got real pop. You got to keep it real. Tank got pop. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me finish, bro.
Go ahead.
He got real pop. And that for me saying that, I'm saying that the motherfucker can hit you with that shot and that can hurt your ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Devin do got respectable power. You hear me? Ain't nobody finna just walk through him or things of that nature. But when it comes down to the come down, what I look at, you need that motherfucker in the corner that's going to keep you grounded. That's going to tell you, don't get caught up in this shit because right now I feel like Devin is still young enough to get caught up in that. Fuck that. If you hit me hard, because Devin, he'll sit down and fight your ass, but you still going to be like a big nigga. Big Floyd will cuss Floyd Mayweather the fuck out. So what you think he would do with Devin Haney? So when you get out the game plan, you need that coach to bring your ass back to the game plan. And what you saying Devin got is what we talking to and what we want him to tap into. So when he in the ring, he don't lose sight of that shit. You see what I'm saying? Don't lose sight of that in the ring. Frustrate the motherfucker. Look what Floyd do to Pacquiao. What Floyd say? Y'all the one said that the nigga was gonna do all this. Y'all the one put the big hype on it because what Floyd did to Pacquiao was beautiful to me. That was beautiful. Hit a nigga. That was beautiful. Well, everybody talking about, oh, it was boring. No, it was boring to you motherfuckers because y'all didn't get what y'all wanted. I got everything I wanted. And that's what I want Devin to stick to and not get caught up in this, oh, I want to go out here and show that I got power ass shit because that shit ain't gonna fly. That's not your style, bro. You are a masterful boxer. That's what you do. You're a masterful boxer. Stick to what you think Shakur give a fuck about a knockout? Shakur don't give a fuck about a knockout. Shakur want to make your ass miss and pay, and you go win how he win, bro. And that's what
that nigga was trying to knock that last dude out, bro.
No, but I'm saying, do you think like if you don't, Dev went out there trying to force it, and that's when you like when you say about Gamboa, I'm gonna guard her, I'm gonna beat him better than Tank, I'm gonna beat him better than Crawford, and you could have done that by saying, you know what, I'm gonna outclass this motherfucker. Man, if Devin didn't want to get touched against the Gamboa, Devin wouldn't have got touched. You see what I'm saying? That's the skill he possessed. That's the skill I want to see from him. That's what nigga, you not gonna touch me. I'm gonna make this shit look so good. When they say, God damn, he couldn't touch that motherfucker. You feel me? And that's what I want him to stick to. Because right now, being young, I feel like in the ring with because Timo talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
All you gonna fucking do is run. You know what I mean? This and that. They not trying to get in that ring with him for that high risk. But if they in that motherfucker and they get X amount of dollars, you know what I'm saying? They not gonna get into like the George Gamboa shit. They offer him, I forgot how much they offer him for that shit. But you see, they talking about 10 million and shit like that. Like you're not gonna get
that nigga not making no 10 million.
Yeah, about that 10 million.
Hey, Monnie, let me just say this. Let me just say this real quick because I just wanna give Contender some salute, and I want to give Monnie some salute, man. Salute to y'all brothers, man, because y'all brothers are tearing it up. Like I said, when I ain't in my head and I want to listen to some stuff, Contender know I always say that when I stop through. Monnie, salute to you, man. Y'all killing the game. The three of us is killing the game when it comes to boxing, man. So I just wanted to say that about these brothers. And I like your individual styles because it works with you. You guys are always 1,000% your swag and you don't change. So I like that about you. And you don't move off of centerline mass because that's what the alpha personality is all about. Not moving off centerline mass. You got your position, you stay on your position, and that's it. And see us, we universally on different positions with this, but we not moving off of centerline mass. So I could see that Texas swag is there with you, Contender, and I could see that with your Monty Brown. So I just want to salute you guys for that. But I just want to say this real quick about Devin Haney, and then Contender, the floor is yours. To me, bruh, I'm high on Devin Haney. My catalog speaks volumes for itself. I've talked about him, Lomachenko taking the French fry belt to duck him. So when you said that, you was preaching to the choir. Anybody that don't admit that is lying to themselves. That's exactly what happened. But then after that, to me, it was like, what did Devin Haney do after that? And you guys know my style. My style is to always drop the elephant in the room. Even if it's the thing that people don't want to hear, I'm naturally wired that way to cut against the grain. It is what it is. That's just the way that I'm wired. Especially when I feel that I'm standing on a position of truth, I'm going to do that. And in the position of truth that I'm on is when you love your brother, you admonish them, you chastise them, man. And you tell them the truth. Just like that time, if you remember, Contender, and I gave you all the respect in the world because you ride with Earl the Truth Spence the way that I did. But you told the damn truth that, hey, he going to have to change some things around. You was giving him admonition. You was giving him chastisement. You was giving him correction. The same take what you did in that moment, that's exactly what I was doing with Devin Haney right now. That's exactly what I'm doing with him right now. And what I'm seeing with Devin Haney is Bill Haney's not the answer. You see how Earl Spence, and I said that with Monty Brown earlier, how Earl Spence Sr., he knows how to just stay to the side and advise his son through private, because every father cannot live through their son vicariously as a trainer and manager, especially when you could tell they don't know how to handle it, because there's a stewardship that's involved into that. There's a fiduciary responsibility that's involved into that, man. And Bill Haney's just not that guy. And Bill Haney got mad when Leonard Ellerbe, he got mad when Floyd Mayweather, he got mad when Senior checked him and said, leave your son to us. This is where this is all coming from. And that's why he had that breakout. And I know y'all can't forget the breakout that he had in public where he was disrespecting the legend Floyd Mayweather Sr. When I saw that told me everything I needed to know. Okay, you gonna be so living vicariously through your son that you're just not gonna understand that your son is in better hands right now. You could step to the side, give him to the keys to the kingdom to where he needs to go. Because truth be told, Devin Haney's style is adopted from the Mayweathers. They're the ones that took him from the cradle. And when I say that, I'm talking about professional career. I'm not talking about from, like his infant from a kid. Obviously, Bill Haney was right there with him. I'm talking about as a professional. They took him up and made him crispier than a three-piece. And then you saw that as soon as him and Bill Haney and Mayweather Sr. had their fallout, Devin Haney started having chinks in the armor. And I implore people, man, because I know I got two of the best guys in the game. They go and do their film study. They watch fights. So they know when I say it, I'm not popping smoke. There was a lot of hits that Devin Haney was taking in that Alfredo Santiago fight that he would not take if Mayweather Sr. and Floyd Mayweather was in that damn corner. He would have been crispier than a three-piece. And then I said, okay, hold up. Let's see. And then I was starting to give him credit because I was like, okay, he right there with Mayweather. Okay, they doing their thing. And then that was just for a little season. That wasn't like all around. I thought this was going to be like an all-around thing that he got the message that he needs to be with the Mayweather. Nah, he made it a seasonal thing, got with his dad again, and what happened in the Gamboa fight? Gamboa was hitting him with too many shots, and Gamboa shouldn't have been hitting him with. Now, granted, Gamboa going to hit you because he's a veteran. He got an amateur Cuban background pedigree. You're going to get touched up. Gervonta Tank Davis got touched up, but Gervonta Tank Davis didn't get touched up nowhere near as much as Devin Haney got touched up in that fight. And Devin Haney was the one saying, I'm going to knock him out sooner than anybody. And when a man tells you they're going to do something, you got to stand to your word. Even if you don't get the knockout, demolish the opponent boxing-wise. What we've seen since he split from Mayweather Sr., and this is something we can't refute here, man, his boxing skills have slipped. They've dipped. There's been slippages there. It ain't the same, and there's too many chinks in the armor. And I can't be honest and not admonish or correct my brother and not be real with him if what I'm seeing is telling me otherwise. So that's all I got to say on that, bro.
Hey, hold on. Hey, both of y'all said some real shit, man. Salute to y'all boys. Like you said, y'all speaking facts, you feel me? But I just want to say, just to go back on as far as with Devin Haney, stylistically choosing how he fights certain fights. Now keep in mind, I do agree, first off, he should have stayed with Big Floyd. And I feel like Floyd would have had him a lot sharper, and maybe mentally he would have went into the Santiago fight a little differently. Keep in mind, Santiago was a replacement fighter, undefeated guy that we really never seen before. He was a replacement fighter. Devin Haney really wasn't even supposed to fight that dude, and he fought him on short notice. So keep that in mind too. He still went in there, dropped the dude, dominated the fight. It was a little, dude landed some shots, but then all right. Now going into the Gamboa fight. Now I didn't really see Devin Haney take a lot of shots in that fight. He got touched a little bit. He didn't get touched as much as Tank did, bro. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? But as far as stylistically how he chose to fight that fight, I felt like he boxed beautifully. He won every round. Now keep in mind though, we can't say, he did say he was gonna knock him out going into the fight. Now, niggas say that shit all the time, bro. And,
that's true.
And dudes don't get knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So some of our favorite fighters and said, I'm gonna knock this dude out, and you don't get no knockout. You know what I'm saying? Jamel Charlo said he was gonna knock out Tony Harris in the first fight. He didn't do it. Earl Spence said he was gonna knock out Sean Porter. He didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? The shit was closer than what niggas thought it was gonna be. So let's keep it 100 on that. Now, also with Devin Haney, how he fought Gamboa, you can't say that he gonna fight Teofimo Lopez the same way, because keep in mind, you saying that, and I agree with you. You saying that his best bet is to hit and not get hit. Be defensive, be quick on his feet, use his angles, use his distance. That's facts. I agree with you 110%. But keep in mind though, the opponent, depending on the opponent, man, dudes might feel a certain type of confidence. Like, look, I can stay in the pocket a little bit longer. Look at how Floyd fought Cotto. Everybody know Floyd could have fought Cotto totally different. He just stood in the pocket with him. He got a bloody nose, nigga, for the first time. Well, the second time, because he got one against Emmanuel Augustus. But he got a bloody nose in that fight, bro. People were talking about, oh, this is the first time I seen Floyd get hit like that. But he chose to fight that way, the same way he fought against Marcos Maidana in the first fight. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that he gonna fight every opponent the same. I feel like when the stakes rise up, when you get in there with somebody like Teofimo Lopez with all the belts on the line, you get in there with somebody like Tank Davis. And I'm not saying that he gonna win all these fights. All I'm saying that these dudes need to fight. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he might go into the Ryan Garcia fight or the Lopez fight with a whole different mentality. Like, all right, I know this dude can crack. I gotta stay on my P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Look at how Errol Spence fought Danny Garcia. Now he came forward with unlimited aggression, like you say, unlimited tactical pressure. He came in there with the jab, behind the jab. But look at how you see why. Now also it was ring rust. You know what I'm saying? But keep in mind that Errol Spence had to be on pins and needles in that fight because Danny Garcia is such a fantastic counterpuncher. He's such a sharp counterpuncher, and you can't get caught lacking in that bitch. So Earl really couldn't like put everything on his punches because he knows soon as he throws something, he got to get the fuck out the way. You know what I'm saying? So so it's certain depending on who you fighting, bro. The level of intensity gonna be different. Your sharpness gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with y'all 110% as far as Devin Haney. He needs to be better. He needs to be sharper. I feel like he should have stayed with Floyd. But I love what I see as far as his skill level, and I know what he can do in these big fights. All I'm saying is, bro, these dudes need to quit ducking him. If he get in there with Lopez and he get knocked the fuck out, so what? You know what I'm saying? Let these dudes fight, though. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm not going to crown. Now, Lopez, he did beat Lomachenko. But, shit, Lomachenko was supposed to fight Devin Haney. He didn't fight him. Luke Campbell was supposed to fight Devin Haney. He didn't fight him. So we really going to penalize Devin for this? You know what I'm saying? He not getting the opportunities that these dudes is getting. So we going to penalize him for it? That's what
I ain't penalizing them, fam. I'm just saying that I want them to be up on the Mayweathers. That's it.
I agree. Let me say, and I don't penalize Dev at all. And that's what I'm going to say. That's why I disagree with he knows in sports. Devin is the real 135-pound champion, right? I know people saying email. This is my thing. I don't do no franchise shit. Canelo dropped the belt. It made Charlo the champion. Lomachenko dropped the belt. It made Devin Haney the champion. On the reason why Contender just said you didn't give him the opportunity to see could he beat your ass. So that means you let the title go. When somebody let a world title go, bro, and it's a world title, I don't give a fuck how the next person get it. I don't care. You feel me? Because they become world champion. They get whether you get elevated or you beat somebody that somebody don't like about you coming world champion. I tell people all the time, there's fighters out here that will give their left arm to say they was a world champion before they left the game. It's a lot of motherfuckers that's never gonna become world champion. But no matter how you became world champion, when you go down in that history books, 35 years from now, you're going to be a world champion. It doesn't matter. You feel me? So I it's the real champion. If Teofimo, and that's my thing, if you want to be undisputed, you have to fight Devin Haney. I'm standing on my truth. If you want to be undisputed, you have to fight Devin Haney. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm not penalizing Dev for not getting those fights, but I'm not going to penalize the other fighters for getting the fights, and I'm not going to discredit those fighters because they did what they had to do in the fight. You see what I mean?
Facts. That's Hey, that's facts, bro.
Right.
Now let me just say this though. Devin Haney, this is my thing. I agree with what Monnie just said. I'm still high on Devin Haney. But why does Devin Haney feel the need to be a parasite to Gervonta Tank Davis's host? Now I said that in one of my videos. Why are you always trying to talk about sparring? Man, listen, man, no boxer be bragging about sparring like that. Errol Spence isn't famous sparring with Floyd Mayweather. You don't hear Errol Spence everywhere turning around saying, "Oh man, when I spar with Floyd," it's other motherfuckers saying that shit, man. Devin Haney always talking about this sparring. He always talking about what he did here, what he did there. Listen, man, we need to know what he did in actual fights. I don't like that, man, because to me, that energy is telling me that you just capping. Why do you think I started calling him little capping ass Devin Haney? Because you just capping right now. Yeah. You ain't being real. Because when it's all said and done, it forced Gervonta Tank Davis to be like, man, I don't duck no damn body, man. I ain't scared of nobody. Like, he made the fighter energy of Gervonta Tank Davis come out. And that's that kind of energy that if Gervonta would have fought him right then and there, Gervonta would have hit him with an uppercut. I felt it. That comeback that he said, I felt it. My thing is this. When I look at all of these guys and I look at the landscape of 135, I'm looking at these fighters based on their actual skill set. Contender is right. We don't know what's going to happen until they actually step into the square circle. This is why they have to fight. This is why we got to hear the ding, 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 the ring bell. But I'm going off of skill set. I'm going off of body of work. And I'm going off of the level of the person that's in front of me. And the person who keeps, every time they keep putting a barrier in front of him, every time they keep putting an obstacle in front of him, because they always trying to pin Gervonta Tank Davis versus Devin Haney and all that. Man, we supposed to be about our people, man. We need to be building everybody up. I ain't with that bullshit, and I ain't with that fuck shit, man. Let's build all of these motherfuckers up. They all black brothers, right? They all black kings. Let's build them all up together. That's why I always go against that when I see that.
I agree with that.
Tank Davis, my thing is this, and I appreciate you agreeing
But
that.
hold on.
My thing is this.
What
when
about
you look
Bud,
at Gervonta Tank,
what about? I ain't mean to cut you off, but I'm just saying. What about Bud though? If we gonna keep that shit all the way up,
no, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that, but I'm gonna just finish this little quick point here. With Gervonta Tank Davis, my thing with him, and a lot of people need to understand this, is Tank is special, man. I don't care what anybody tell me. This guy got 3 people's styles in him. When you look at Tank, you see Roy Jones, because we seen it in earlier fights when he had his hand behind his head. He had his hands behind his back. The only person that was doing that was Roy Jones. You got to be athletic as fuck to be doing some shit like that. Fighting in a square circle against another fighter that can rip your head off. I don't care what anybody tell me. I don't care what level of opposition that's in front of you. We all know it takes a special fraternity of people to step into that square circle. And for you to be fighting against somebody that's across the ring and you got your hands behind your head and you making them miss shots, we ain't seen that since Roy Jones. The level of power that Gervonta Tank Davis distributes, we ain't seen that since Mike Tyson. That's why Mike Tyson himself saw that same thing. And Mike Tyson was like, you know what? You know what, man? I got to get up in this thing, dog. I got to talk to this kid because I see myself in this kid. So I feel I got to advise him, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what's even the beautiful part about it? We see because he's taking gems, he's taking notes, and he's listening to Floyd Mayweather. We see that pool count extraordinary ability coming through, man. And we see it keeps evolving. The Leo Santa Cruz fight, if Gervonta Tank Davis did not listen to Floyd Mayweather 1,000%, that fight would have ended up a lot worse. Mayweather made sure he grabbed him. He grabbed him by the you know how you grab somebody by the jacket, you grab him by the shirt, and you pull him up close and you say, look here, motherfucker. You ain't listening to me right now because you bullshitting right now. You fucking up right now. That's what he did. And when he did that, you know what ended up happening? He got better. Because Gervonta Tank Davis did something that we all appreciated. Oh, I got you, real Marlo. I'm just finishing up my portion. I'm gonna throw you up in this motherfucker. The thing with Gervonta Tank Davis is he listened, and we see it now. 2 weeks after the Leo Santa Cruz, that was my test. He was right back in the gym. I said, okay, he getting it. And then look, Adrian Broner in the gym talking shit to Ryan Garcia. His ass ain't blowing up no more. These guys are getting the message because you know when it started, Contender? You know when it started, Monnie? It started when Deontay Wilder was lynched last year in Black History in February of last year. All of these guys started getting the message. Charlo started getting the message. Earl Spence started getting the message. Gervonta Tank Davis started getting the message. We special PBCers, but our special ability comes with us living in the gym, us eating, shitting, and thereby what? Sleeping, fucking boxing, like Earl Spence said. Once them motherfuckers got the message and they all started tightening up, now they all dominating respectively of what they do. I just feel based on the way that I see Gervonta Tank Davis, the way that I see Teofimo Lopez, the way that I see Devin Haney, Tank is just a little sharper right now. And we know when we using our true boxing eye test, when we're looking at the way these guys are fighting, Tank to me is sharper because he has the sharpest mouth in his ears, man. Ain't nobody sharper than Floyd. And when we talking Floyd Mayweather, we talking boxing. That's the dude that's in his ears, man. So he's sharper to me than everybody from my eye test. But of course, they got to step into the ring. They got to do what they got to do.
You're not wrong when you say that, bro.
Yeah, but let me say this, bro. Let me say this, Contender. Tank is my guy, bro. I ride for him, and I do think Tank is ahead of the whole pack of the young bulls.
I agree.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Looking at Teofimo, but that's why the little four man tournament need to happen. They hyping that shit up, and what's like Teofimo and Devin got the backdrop undisputed. Tank and Ryan Garcia, they got the backdrop. They've been going back and forth, right? what's better than bringing? Because Tank and Ryan, that fucking shit, that shit can sell 1 million pay-per-view buys. That shit can sell 1 million pay-per-view buys with the history of Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. Like I say, adding Canelo to the mix. You feel me? And then what's better than Undisputed? And then you got motherfucking Ryan Garcia and Tank. I mean, the winner of Devin Haney and what's my man Teofimo fighting the winner of Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis next. That shit arguably probably is the hottest motherfucking shit in boxing. Even with my dude Earl, you see what I'm saying? So they need to make that shit happen, bro. And that's why I feel you contender, because you just like, okay, bitch, y'all saying all this, y'all saying all that, motherfucker. Make it happen. Because I do agree with you when you say that Devin, the same, like a lot of people shit on Demetrius Andrade, right? A lot of people shit on Demetrius, but to me, Demetrius Andrade had the skills to beat anybody from 154 to 168 because of the same shit that Devin Haney has. They have the length, they have the boxing IQ, they have the reach, and if you can keep a motherfucker on the end of your jab, make them miss, and you hit and not getting hit, what's better than that, bro? What's better than that? If you can frustrate a motherfucker in the ring and take them out their game plan, and if you can get a big punch and just trying to hit you with a big shot, it's over. If you can take a big punch out of his head and all he's trying to do is land one shot, and you was the masterful boxer, you should have that motherfucker down packed, and you should be calculating data, and you should be going in there, turning their ass up. Now I'm gonna touch on this, and then I'm gonna pass it. I do agree with y'all when y'all say we supposed to build up all our black fighters. That's why you never see me downing none of my black. I don't down Devin Haney, I don't down Tank, I don't down Bud, I don't down Earl, I don't down none of them. I pick all their ass up, bro. I give all their ass the respect that they deserve. I give all their ass the equal shit. But I am going to call shit down the middle how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. Like he knows it. You got to chastise your brothers. And I will admit, I did hold back on Earl Spence and Contender. I had to go to Contender and hear him say it because I couldn't say it. And I'm going to keep it real. As much shit as I talk, I couldn't say it. But when I heard Contender say it, I say, all right, as long as I got a brother that's saying it, we know the truth. But the thing about Earl Spence is Earl Spence gets it, bro. He understands when he fuck up, he chastises himself. You can't chastise a motherfucker no worse than a motherfucker can chastise themselves, bro. Now, if Earl wasn't saying shit like that or he wasn't keeping the trill, then maybe, you know, I would have said something. But Earl keep the trill, bro, and he chastises himself, bro. So at the end of the day, that's why I couldn't really come out and say, oh, say this or say that or say this, because he got it. And everything I needed him to say, he said it as a fan to where I say, okay, my bro get it, dog. You feel me?
That's
but at the end of the day, I am going to big up all my black brothers, though. But you can pass, I can pass the mic.
Real Marlo, salute to you, man. What's up? What's good with you, fam?
My boy Marlo, what's going on, my boy?
What's good with you, Contender? What's good, Monnie? What's good? He knows his sport, man. I heard y'all cooking. So when I clicked on YouTube, I said, oh, hell, I got to get on this motherfucker. What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Salute, man. Salute.
Happy New Year's, everybody, too.
Yeah.
Man, we delving into a lot, man. We talking 135. I mean, like, overall, like, what's your take, man, on Gervonta Tank Davis, on, you know, Teofimo Lopez, on Devin Haney, on Ryan Garcia? I mean, like, what's your energy behind it, man? Because 135 is heating up, bro.
The way I feel right now, like 135, man, these niggas got the potential to kind of like, they got the potential to fuck around and have the biggest fights in boxing. To be honest, like I feel everything they doing. Like if it's looking like Tank and Ryan Garcia about to fight, right? That's what it's really, really looking like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's looking like they about to fight. Now, while they fighting, Teofimo Lopez needs to fight Devin Haney, bro. That's just what got to go down, because I don't want no situation to where, like, for instance, how 147 division going, Earl just fought Danny. Okay, if Earl just fought Danny, why the fuck Bud and Shine wasn't fighting while they was fighting? Now y'all niggas gonna talk about fighting when it's time for Earl and Bud to fight, and Shine I want to fight Bud and all this shit. Man, fuck all that. And then fuck all that, bro. Y'all niggas should have been already fighting. Now Shine need to step the fuck aside and do whatever he gonna do while Earl and Bud try to work out this shit. I got hopes that's gonna happen, but we talking about 135. But Tank, man, and Ryan, man, they fuck around, had the biggest fight in boxing, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna stunt. Like, these niggas fuck around and really, really had the biggest fight. I'm talking about over everybody because Ryan is a social media dude. He reminds me of like Jake Paul a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He reminds me of them type of guys. He got that type of aura. Like he got a lot of little white boys and shit like that who like what he be doing. He got a big fan base. On Instagram, you know, just period. He just know how to work this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like them YouTubers know how to do it. And Tank the same way. The streets fuck with Tank. You know what I'm saying? He got the Tyson aura, so everybody fuck with him. So these niggas fuck around, go global with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Tank and Ryan fight, bro. And then you got Tyson hyping this shit up. This shit fuck around and be huge. But while they banging, we need T.O. to go and fight Devin, bro. Because at first I was like, okay, T.O. just did his thing with Loma. And he beat the shit out of Loma when nobody thought he was gonna beat him. Nobody thought he was gonna win, bro. Or very few people. I ain't gonna say nobody. He wasn't the favorite. So he beat Loma. I'm like, okay, he did. He proved himself. Other niggas gotta prove themselves. But now it's changed. It's different. Tank and Ryan, you still, after beating Loma, ain't the biggest shit around this motherfucker. Even with you beating Loma. So you still got to, you know what I'm saying, make some noise. Wow. If niggas smart, they'll fight, bro. T.O. fight Devin. If they smart, while Tank and Ryan fight. If a nigga smart, because the winner fight each other, bro, that shit gonna be so fucking big. You know what I'm saying? Yep. With them fighting, you know what I'm saying? These niggas, man, they got it made right now. They can really, really shake some shit up, bro. Like, they can turn the tide. Like, for instance, how heavyweight used to be the most important weight class. Then, you know, shifted to welterweight, middleweight, shit like that. And now welterweight being cracking shit now. 135 is a chance right now in boxing to put themselves on the level of probably like the welterweight division. If they go ahead and fight each other, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, they really got the chance to change the shit. They got the chance to change the whole landscape of boxing because you know how everybody marinating fights, and I get, you know, it's a business. We are, and that's one thing that I never did was be naive of the business of boxing and ignore the shit. Like, as much of a fan as we are, we want to see these fights. We know it's a business, but also there's personal things and, you know, things that guys can get past to make these fights happen. And these young guys really can change the whole landscape of boxing. If they fight right now and people see how lucrative that shit is, it's gonna make these other guys like, man, shit, we got to go ahead and make this shit happen before we lose out on this money. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
Facts. That's real shit, man. But shit, let's talk about it, man, because we're gonna start with Monnie Brown and then kind of go to Contender and then the real Marlo, and I'll get on the back end of it. So how y'all feel overall, man? What's y'all take? Y'all know how I feel, and I know it's not a fan favorite. It's not popular by the man. I just felt that Loma was bribed and robbed. But what's y'all take on the Lomachenko and the Teofimo Lopez fight, man? I really want to know you guys' like overall take. Since y'all on the live, I've seen the videos, but I really want to know like how you guys felt that fight panned out. What's your take on Teofimo Lopez and his energy overall after the fight?
Okay, my first time looking at the fight, right? My exact first time looking at the fight, I thought it was a draw, right? I had it as a draw. I had my guy, damn, I forgot who it was. We was in that bitch. Like, I was streaming that bitch, so I'm looking at it because I thought Loma won the second round. I thought he won. I looked at it and I said, okay, they really didn't do shit, but I thought Loma won the second round. I think I gave him it was another round I gave him, but then I know he swept from the 8 to like the 11 to me. From like 8 to 11 I gave to him, and I had it a draw. I went back and watched it. I end up scoring it for Tiff. I said, okay, I gave it to Teofimo. I thought the right man won. You know what I'm saying? It was a close fight still to me. You know what I'm saying? It was. I know people saying, oh, he whooped his ass. He lost 8 rounds straight, things of that nature. It was still a close fight to me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I gotta give Teofimo his credit. He went out there. I thought like I said, I was pulling for Teofimo to win the fight, but I thought Lomachenko was gonna win the fight. And I said if Teofimo gonna win the fight, he gotta prove to me that he can beat Lomachenko. You know what I mean? So I can't take nothing away from him, right? After winning, I see a lot of people pissed off at Teofimo for not giving Lomachenko a rematch. And I'm not mad at him for not giving Lomachenko a rematch because I knew Lomachenko wouldn't have gave him a rematch. Like, to be respectful, Teofimo was a champion. He was a champion. It ain't like he just went into the fight for a title. He was a champion in his own right. But the arrogancy of Lomachenko, the way how he carried the fight, how he didn't have you know you got everything to lose. You know this the young bull on the rise. He can come back. But with you in a, you know what I'm saying, you treading on thin ice for us losing credibility, you know what I mean? Because like I say, I didn't believe all the hype ESPN tried to put around him. I thought, like, I give Lomachenko credit, he's a bad motherfucker. I'm not taking no credit away from him. But I don't believe all the hype, all that Bob Arum shit, better than Muhammad Ali, all that shit. Maybe he fed into that shit. But at the same time, you got to understand in this boxing game that anything can happen. And when you go out there and you won't secure your rematch and put a rematch clause in the contract because you are the headliner, you know what I'm saying? You could say, you know what, no fight unless I got a rematch clause. And Teofimo will agree to that because he want to fight your ass. But you so cocky and arrogant that you go just beat this boy ass and move on with your career and go after the other young bulls that you don't even put a rematch clause in there. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's on you. I don't knock Teofimo because that's thunder right there. You beat the motherfucker who they try to say, oh, it's this and that and all in this. You know what I'm saying? Now, guess what? I'm moving on. I'm moving on to the big money fights. It's big fights out there, things of that nature. So at the end of the day, I don't knock him. You know what I'm saying? Now, him talking all that, he's saying a lot of other bullshit that I don't agree with. You know, Devin need to do this and do that, then he can fight me. No, he don't. Devin is a fucking champion, homie. I know, like that email and all that shit is disrespectful. I don't like this shit either. So Devin is a fucking champion. You number one, Devin is number two, Tank, then is Ryan. Even though I got Tank and Ryan as the stars of the division, but at the end of the day, Devin is a champion. And that's the reason why you mentioned Devin's name after the fight. You the one said I want to fight Devin Haney next. You know what I'm saying? Because you know in your heart that franchise shit is not that shit is not legal. He was
feeling guilty as fuck.
Yeah, that ain't the truth. So if that's the case, if you felt like you was undisputed, you would have never mentioned Devin's name. Like, okay, I'll fight Devin Haney next, since people, because you know it's a majority that's saying that your ass is not the motherfucking undisputed champion. I like Monnie Brown, I like my brother CON10DER, Marlo, and I think you feel the same way. He knows, but he's not undisputed. I give him his credit as being unified champion. I do say you're the number one motherfucker, number one dude. But you're not undisputed. And if you want to be undisputed, you have to fight Devin Haney. You feel me? But I don't knock him for talking this shit now, because you did do something that a lot of people think you couldn't do. And it's the fight game, man. You do something, you get rewarded, you deserve to talk your shit. But don't get to trying to discredit the next motherfucker to talk your shit. Because I just seen him on a little weak ass punch shit who the motherfucker I had to go off on. You know, him and his daddy talking a whole lot of bullshit, and that shit rubbed me the wrong way. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna give him his credit inside the ring. I'm not gonna take nothing away from him. But I do want to see him fight Devin, and I do want to see Devin beat his ass. Even though I give him the edge, I'm riding with Devin to beat his ass. You feel me? So, but I'm not gonna discredit the man and say this, that, and the third, because he still went out there and made history. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it, bro.
CON10DER, what's your take, man, on that fight between Loma and Tio?
Yes, sir. Well, I scored the fight 7-5 for Teofimo Lopez. I watched it twice, and I scored it the same way both times. I had Teofimo winning all 6 of the first 6 rounds, and I had him winning the 12th round.
Okay.
And you know, Lomachenko, I don't know, man. A lot of people saying that he was waiting for the steam to come off of the punches before he really started to come forward. That's a logical take, and I think that's probably what happened. But the thing is, bro, with Lomachenko, I ain't really never seen him fight like that before. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, I could see if he went in the first round or second round or third round and fourth round, he got hit with something or clipped, and he like, ooh, this motherfucker can hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I don't know. I need to let me wait a few more rounds, but that really didn't happen. Teofimo Lopez, he won those first 6 rounds basically due to the lack of activity from Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? He was throwing little jabs to the head and to the body. He wasn't really hitting shit. He was touching Loma to the belt a little bit with jabs to the solar plex. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like those first 6 rounds was all, you know, he won those due to, you know, aggression, actually making the fight, and due to inactivity from Lomachenko. Lomachenko started to turn it up in the 7th round. That's when I really started to see, you know, and again, I'm giving Teofimo Lopez all the credit in the world because he won that fight. And like I said, I watched it twice, scored it the same way both times. But I saw in the second half of that fight a lot of holes in this game. Now, granted, that is Lomachenko, a great fighter, very, very skilled. But I saw a lot of holes in this defense. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my opinion, somebody who's not afraid to not even necessarily mix it up, but at least, make your presence felt within the first fucking 5 or 6 rounds, you can win rounds on Teofimo Lopez, and you can hit him, So, but again, all credit to Lopez. Like I said, I gave him the fight both times. And he is the unified champion. That's why I got him on the pound for pound list. I got him top 5. I think he's number 5 or number 6 on my pound for pound list. So I'm giving him all the credit in the world. I just don't like the fact that he's trying to claim undisputed. You know what I'm saying? And he's avoiding Devin Haney. Right after the fight, he talking about, like Money Brown just said, yeah, I'll fight, I'll fight the email champion Devin Haney, because deep down that motherfucker, you not undisputed, and that you gotta prove yourself. Yeah, you prove yourself versus Lomachenko, and you prove that you done fought the best quality opponents in the division, and you number 1. He's number 1, being the unified champion with 3 belts and the lineal champion, like you just said. He knows his sport, so I give him that. But deep down in his heart, he knows that he's not undisputed, because the very definition of being undisputed in the sport of boxing is there is nobody else that can claim that they the champion. There's nobody else that you can argue is the champion, because it's undisputed. But we sitting right here right now having a fucking dispute on who the champion is. So motherfucker, you not undisputed. So that's my whole take on Teofimo Lopez. But again, he beat Loma, he beat Kome, he beat Nakatani, all 3 really good opponents. And shit, I just want to see the best fight the best. I want to see these guys get in the ring and mix it up. I'm all with the 4-man tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like the real Marlo TV just said, these guys really changed the landscape of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And if these young kids mix it up, man, say we can have fireworks at 135, and that shit could take over heavyweight, 147, 154, because 154 is a very popping division as well. But Lopez, man, look, dude got skill. He can fight. He can punch. But I'm just not sold on him being, a world beater, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I gave Lomachenko credit because the eye test, even though he didn't really have the fights, he fought the few fights that he had. He did beat some quality guys, but people try to brush under the rug that he didn't lose to fucking Salido. He lost to Salido, bro.
He did.
Like, you cannot erase that shit. He lost to fucking Salido, bro. Like, niggas try to act like that shit didn't happen. It happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this dude literally 12-1, 13-1, whatever his record is, going into this fight with Teofimo Lopez, and they acting like this dude beat Muhammad Ali. Like, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, he pulled off a feat that these other guys didn't pull off. So, like I said, Lopez can fight, bro, but I don't feel like he just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he not that guy to me, bro. That's just my opinion.
Man, real Marlo, right before you go, I just gotta say this one, man. Hey, Salido left the liquor store drunk as a skunk with his 12 losses, went in there and beat the shit out of Loma, though.
On me. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, real Marlo.
Man, we got the realest panel on this motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Hey, man, when I watched that fight with Loma, I looked at the shit like this. How I looked at it, like soon when I seen that Loma didn't fight for 6 rounds, I automatically knew he was gonna lose, man. When I seen he didn't fight for the first 6 rounds, I'm like, bro, you can't go in a fight without fighting the first 6 rounds and expect to win a fight. You know what I'm saying? Because look what happened with the Danny Garcia versus Lamont Peterson. I felt like Lamont could have pulled that off, but the judge is not even gonna give you the fight because you just bored the people to death by bullshit. The first 6 rounds. That's how Lamont lost versus Danny. You can't come on strong at the end and think you gonna fucking win the fucking fight. Like, that shit don't go like that. Like, especially like now you gotta have a whole shutout for the rest of the fight just to even come up with a draw. Like, that's bullshit, bro. The nigga lost, and his excuse, like, I didn't even really count the rounds because I already knew he lost. You know what I'm saying? not fight the first half, and then lose at least a couple of the next half. Nigga, you lost. That's it. And then his excuse, the nigga excuse was he too small. He really the 130 division. Well, why the fuck do you want a rematch, nigga? We don't want to see a rematch if you too small for the division. So fuck that shit, man. T.O. should say fuck that nigga. We can. This is a chance to really like wipe Loma the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? We can get Loma the fuck out of here by not giving that nigga a shot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody forget about it. Cause you know he just got his ass whooped and he got out. But you know what I'm saying? Let Shakur feed that nigga to Shakur. Let Shakur whoop on his ass. Chris Cole, but somebody like that whoop on Lamont Peterson ass, bro. That nigga Lopez need to get in there with Danny, bro. I mean, not Danny, Devin Haney, and stop fucking bullshitting. So you can get in this tournament, so we can see which one of y'all niggas the best. Cause all these niggas talk shit. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas talk a lot of shit. Ryan, Tank, fucking and Devin Haney all talks a lot of shit. And niggas talk about what they did in sparring back in 1945. Nigga, we trying to see y'all niggas get in the ring right now. And they got a shot to do it. Devin Haney, he ready, bro. See, I be getting on Dev, but he ready to get it in though. With T.O. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who I think gonna win, that nigga ready to damn. So
that's why I respect them. That's why I say I respect Devin and I respect Devin, because one thing about him is it don't matter, like you said, well, Lomachenko. Shit, if you can beat me. Come whoop my ass and show me you can beat me. You know what I mean? Now I do got a problem with the Gary Russell shit, because I do feel like they're hanging on purpose. Now I would like I'm on record saying that. I'm gonna stick with that. But for everybody else, they've been chasing that smoke. They ain't been backing down. Win, lose, or draw, you gotta give them their credit.
Facts. Yeah, that's how I feel too. On God, that like that little whole shit with Gary Russell. That was some fugazi shit right there. But with this shit right here with Teofimo Lopez, he want to fight that nigga. So T.O. need to get the fuck in the ring, bro, and stop bullshit. And I ain't even talking about the belt. I'm talking about, nigga, if you want the biggest check, fight one of the biggest names and to shut this nigga up, you gotta get in the ring with him, bro. You got to get in the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? But in the actual fight, to me, it's 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. I say 50-50, man, because Devin might be smarter than T.O., but T.O., you can't even. It's a reason why that nigga Loma ain't getting that motherfucking exchange and not fight the first 6 rounds. I'm telling you, that nigga power for real. That nigga knocked that nigga out, Comey, put that boy to sleep, and he would have did Loma the same way if he would have fought. He would have knocked his ass out. He knew it. Once a nigga know he can get knocked out, he don't want to fight. He don't want to engage. So he had his little game plan to take some steam off them punches. You know what I'm saying? And he still got rocked a couple times. You know what I'm saying? In the second half of the fight, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez, man, fuck all that. That nigga need to get in there with Devin Haney, bro. While taking around the fight. Even I just seen Leonard Ellaby suggest the same thing. Leonard Ellaby said, man, why don't y'all niggas fight? I fucks with that. They need a fight, bro. ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. But the only problem is I don't know, man, about that Devin. I mean, about that Bob Earl and Eddie Hearn shit. Hopefully they can get that settled or whatever. You know, they did business before. But I heard about how Bob Earl might not want to put the belts online if he just took it from Loma. But at the end of the day, like, T.O. is not an underdog versus Devin Haney, bro. He's not. He's just as good and just as talented and hit hard. So we'll see. Even though, you know, Devin Haney, both of them niggas got flaws. So that's 50-50 to me. So we'll see.
Now, I'm gonna say this because I'm glad y'all had y'all positions on it. So I'm gonna get my position on it real quick. With T.O. and Loma, the way that I look at it is like this. I liken it to the Jamel Charlo and the Tony Harrison fight. My position on it is I respect what Contender said, 7-5. I respect that. Monnie, I respect what you said. Real Marlo, you said some real shit on the first half of the fight. And in the first half, he did not he wasn't aggressive, and it was obvious he wasn't aggressive because he was respecting his power. I mean, anybody that got boxing sense knows that. But for me, I just felt like I felt like Loma edged it out, maybe one round, or it was a draw. And if it's in that instance, I feel like you got to run that shit back, because to me, that's one of those fights where you can really capitalize. Top Rank has been struggling against PBC, man, and this is their opportunity for them to capitalize off of something like this and build it up. And my other thing is this: Loma, you know what I'm saying? Because I got to address the elephant in the room. We all sat there and we had Deontay Wilder's back, man, with the whole Tyson Fury situation, right? With the glove gate and everything. We knew what time it was with that. Loma's never been the type of person to say, you know, boxing judges was paid off and all of that. It was very interesting that he came out and said that. And I was like, okay, are we going to address that? Are we going to say that that's what happened? Are we going to sit here and act like Bob Arum is not an old car salesman, aka shiesty motherfucker? Are we going to act like that ain't happened? Are we going to be selective with it? Because Bob Arum has made sure that Manny Pacquiao's take some nosedives. We know it with the Jeff Horn fight. We've known it with freaking Timothy knothead ass or bullet head ass Bradley. We know that to be true. And then we also know with Oscar De La Hoya, he's had him take some falls. The Fernando Vargas fights, we've seen this shit before. So this is not becoming of Bob Arum to take his darling, his baby, and say, you know what? I got to slap you on the wrist a little bit. I built you up. Now I'm going to give you the roller coaster effect, and I'm going to build you right back down because I need to make a rematch off you. And see, with Top Rank, going back to what you said, Money Brown, unless there's been instances where Bob Arum has put rematch clauses, but Bob Arum's rematch clause has always been Bob Arum's rematch clause. It's all about supply and demand with him. If he see that the finances make sense for him to do the rematch, he gonna do it. If he don't see that the finances don't make sense, then he's not gonna do it. And I think the reason why the rematch is not being clamored for is because he's surveying the landscape, and the landscape is telling him that maybe the money is not there yet. But if the fight fans build it up and say that this is what we want, this is what we want. I just said my 2 cents on it. Whether it happens or not, so be it. But I just want us to, you know what I'm saying, be fair to all fighters across all ethnicities, because we represent our own. And we get flack on all of our channels for us saying that we represent our own, et cetera, et cetera. And I know all of these brothers here, everyone on this panel is stand-up brothers. And just because a fighter's not black, you see, that's the difference between us. You see, that's why I came out with this segment so long ago called the double standards that's associated with boxing, because all of us will call a spade when it's a fighter that's not black. Look at what Real Marlo just did with Teofimo Lopez. He said it's 50-50 because he said you got to be careful with Teofimo Lopez's power. Teofimo Lopez ain't black, but he called a spade. We do that on our respective platforms. But the other reverse bias, AK detractors, AK panders, they don't do that. So I just didn't want to be that person that was not going to sit here, and because I want to see Loma lose so bad, I wasn't going to call a spade and keep it real and see things that were happening that just didn't make no sense. Now, you right, Contender. There's been fighters that say that they're going to knock you out, but they don't knock you out. But when you talk that knockout talk, if you don't get the knockout, then at least demolish the opponent, man. At least do something of that effect. You got to do something that, even if you ain't knock them out, we got to see something that showed dominance. Because we know at that level, knockouts ain't just going to come like that. If it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. But show us that you did show a separation. You did show a distinction. You did show a golf, and you did show a delineation between you and the opponent, right? And that's not what I saw.
Hold on. But when you win every round, bro, when you win all 12 rounds, that ain't dominant?
No, if you win all 12 rounds, that is dominant. That's domination right there. But to me, for the Loma and the Teofimo fight, there's fight fans that feel that it was a draw. There's fight fans that feel that Teo won 7-5. There's fight fans that feel that Loma won 7-5. If that is the case, that's a run it back effect. That's
hold on.
You run it back.
You're not talking. So you're not talking about Devin Haney and Gamboa, right?
I'm still on Teofimo and Loma, but now I'm segueing off of that. I'm just giving my take on it. But now let's talk the Bud conversation, because I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it as y'all gave y'all 2 cents on Teofimo and Loma. This is my thing with Terrence Bull Crawford, and I'm gonna let Contender start off this round, and then Monnie, you go in, and then Real Marlo, you gonna get on the back end because Contender was the one that said, "Hey, let's talk about it." Terrence Bull Crawford, to me, he don't respect himself, Contender. That's why I don't respect him. When he disrespected his sister, that said a lot to me. I take that very special, and I'm hoping y'all some stand-up brothers and y'all the same way. And I could see that with y'all. Oh, I'm gonna tell you where he disrespected her. When she came out and she sized up Bob Arum, and you know what Terrence Bull Crawford did? He sat her down by saying, "Oh, Bob Arum is my master. I'm gonna go right back to him," and made a public apology. She came out and said, "If he talking this reckless to you, then why don't you cut loose with him?" And Terrence Bull Crawford was talking a good game, right? He said, "Oh, that's how he feel. Then cut me now." But then Bob Arum still kept the foot on the necks. And what did Terrence Bull Crawford and Bomac? I tell you, them Negroes missing a few screws in their head. What they do? They became the modern Negro slaves that they were, and they fell right back up under Bob Arum like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. Oh, I apologize to Bob Arum, blah, 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 blah. You made your sister look bad.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I take a special thing. It's a special thing for me, Contender. A special thing for me, Monnie. It's a special thing for me, the Real Marlo, when I see brothers disrespect their black beautiful queens, man. I don't know, it's just something about me that it don't sit right with me with that. And if your sister's doing that, she's only doing that because she's the only one that got the cojones in the room to stand up to Bob Arum. So why don't you keep the same energy and say the same thing that you said that your sister was saying? Oh, if he's feeling like this, then he need to cut me loose. No, you go right up under him and you re-sign. And I'm gonna tell you something about Terrence Bull Crawford, man. Terrence Bull Crawford is smoking mirrors like Earl the Truth Smith said he was. Because if he was for real, he wouldn't have re-signed with Top Rank. The re-signing with Top Rank was because he wanted to duck that free smoke. He did not want to fight with the upper echelon of the welterweight. And let's pull out some receipts. The Mean Machine fight. You guess who he was supposed to fight? He was supposed to be Danny Garcia. But he ducked Danny Garcia because he felt Danny Garcia was asking for too much. The Keith Thurman fight. He ducked Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is probably the weakest link at this point. He ducked Keith Thurman because he felt Keith Thurman was asking too much. We know how many times he's ducked Sean Porter. And to me, Sean Porter is one of those fighters like your Chris Gamboa where the triangle theory works. Because with Sean Porter, everybody going to have that ugly fight with him. You ain't going to fight pretty. And Terrence Bull Crawford, in the heart of hearts, in the souls of souls, in his manhood, he knows he can't box cleanly in that fight. He knows Sean Porter is going to put him in dirty waters. He knows he's going to put him in those tough waters, and he's going to take his ass to deep waters, and he don't want that. Because we all know pressure does what? It bursts pipes, dog. And the pressure going to burst pipes on his ass. And we know that fight will potentially ruin Spence versus Crawford. That's what Crawford ain't clamoring for. And in this whole Kell Brook fight, now this is how I feel about it. Kell Brook was outboxing this motherfucker for 3 out of 4 rounds. How did all of a sudden Kell Brook get hit on the shoulder and he knocked out? Come on, man. That don't make no sense to me, dog. It don't make no sense. Because Kell Brook ain't even 70 inches. And Kell Brook was outboxing this cat. Literally outboxing him. And then all of a sudden, Kell Brook looks at Bob Arum. Y'all saw it, man. Go look at the 4th round. He looked to the side of the ring, and he was like, oh, shit. I'm taking those shots. And then all of a sudden, Terrence Bull Crawford hit this motherfucker, and he dropped. Come on, man. It's the things that make you say, dog. It's the things that make you say, And then here's the other thing, too. Terrence Bull Crawford fought Jose Benavidez. Jose Benavidez wore this motherfucker out. If y'all go back and look at that fight and see how many times Bo Mac vomited some Big Macs, yelling at damn Terrence Bull Crawford because he was on that hit me, I'm going to hit you back bullshit style. Jose Benavidez was exposing Terrence Bull Crawford. That's why when Earl the True Spence came up to Terrence Bull Crawford, he said, you went 12 rounds with a one-legged gimp, dog. That's why you too light in the ass, I will straight up stop you. Because Spence, no, if it's me and my punch resistance, you gonna fold like a fucking pretzel. This gonna be Hagler and Hearns 2.0. And I'm telling people, that's what I see that fight looking like. Hagler and Hearns. Because let me tell you guys something, man. Terrence Bull Crawford is chinny chin chin, dog. Mean Machine revealed that. Why do you think everybody at the Woolworths calling Terrence Bull Crawford out now? Because they like, oh, if Mean Machine got off on him, I could get off on him too. And I'm gonna make this last point. And here's my other thing with Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford fought a lame duck Jeff Horn, and it took him tooth and nail. Basically, it was like Bob Arum gave him a doormat fight to get a WBO belt. And it took him like life, death, and back just to knock out Jeff Horn, man. Terrence Bud Crawford ain't what y'all say he is. He's smoking fucking mirrors. And I can't wait till Earl True Spence drop this motherfucker and beat the shit out of his ass. Because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Hagler and Hearns 2.0. Book it. That's all I got to say.
I ain't want to stop you, bro, but I just want to tell you because while you saying that Mancini, Bobo Mancini said Earl Spence will walk down Terrence Crawford. He say Earl Spence walks down Terrence Crawford. He's too big, too strong. In the midst of you saying what you're saying, it came to my mind. That shit was just funny to me, bro. That was just funny to me. But listen, look, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. And you know, Earl, my guy, I love him. But to me, I still see like I got Earl winning. Don't get me wrong. But I do see Terrence Bud Crawford, and I do see the threats that Terrence Bud Crawford possesses in the ring, bro. Because he will punch with you, and the little black motherfucker is strong. I give him that. I do give him that. And I don't think it's gonna come down to the size and the strength in the ring. I just think it's gonna come down to that grit. I think Earl just got more grit than Terrence Bud Crawford, bro. I really do. When it's time to dig deep and go forward, nice and Bud don't get it. But I just think Earl Spence got more, bro.
And that's a whole hell of a lot of grit, boy.
And that's a whole lot of grit, bro. I'm telling you. Because people keep looking at it, right? And they like to say, oh, well, Bud's strong too. Oh, Bud this, Bud that. I don't take nothing away from you, Bud. I haven't seen Earl Spence tell not one lie, not one time, bro. Not one lie, not one time. I mean, when you got Adrian Broner saying Earl is just too much for him. You know, I like Terrence. He's a hell of a fighter, but Earl's just too much. Like these coming from his peers, bro. Like they know. People like to say, well, Mayweather said Terrence Bud Crawford is the number one pound for pound fighter. I respect Mayweather. That's his number one pound for pound fighter. You never heard Mayweather say Terrence Bud Crawford will beat Earl Spence. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, because it could be for a couple reasons why he got Terrence Crawford number one pound for pound. But have anybody ever asked who do we think going to win between Bud and Earl Spence? We haven't heard his take on that. Okay, that's something different. But when I look at the fight, bro, I feel like the pace of Earl Spence, because Earl gets strong as the fight go on. Bud got to heat up. You don't want to, like, even Sean Porter told Terrence Bud Crawford, you better know what the fuck you gonna do with me when I get in the ring with you. You're not gonna have time to figure it out. Same thing with Earl Spence. You're not gonna have time to figure it out, bro. You're not. You feel me? And I keep telling people this shit. You not go out southpaw a real fucking southpaw. So when you switch southpaw and you make a right handed, they get confused and they get jittery, don't know what to do with shit like that. Oh, he was fighting right now, he switched southpaw. Earl Spence gonna be the same Earl Spence, still right there. You feel what I'm saying? And still pushing the fight, going forward. You feel me? And I think once like people don't understand how good his body attack is, bro. The body attack is part of his repertoire. Like that's part of the whole game plan. It's like a jab. You don't forget the jab, Earl. Don't forget to go to the body. And they don't know how that body work, wear your ass down at the end of the fight. And I think once that get going, once the body of something get going, once Earl Spence get his range of distance, he feel Bud pop. You know what I mean? Because Bud go touch him. Don't get me wrong, you go touch him. But once he feel a pop and he get used to this thing, he say, okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And he start walking his ass and putting that pace down. And Bud, he don't move at 147 like he used to do at 140 and 135. He don't got those type of legs at 147. And I had to come to see that. Like, okay, this motherfucker ain't got them legs like he used to have. The age getting up there, he banging more. He want to stop people. He want to show that he's strong. When it comes to Earl Spence, bro, and Earl get to walk from touching that body, and he really got to sit down, and he get hit, and you want to get that lick back, and you see how you punching Earl, but you punching arms, and Earl parrying that shit, and Earl taking some sting off by making you miss a little bit, and he countering your ass and bodying you. I think that's when Bud gonna really realize, like, all right, I'm a motherfucker, but this motherfucker is the motherfucker. I'm a motherfucker, but he is the motherfucker. You know what I mean? And he ain't gonna submit. The motherfucker mentally strong. He ain't gonna submit, but he gonna find out that you with another motherfucking dog now. And you know, maybe it might end in stoppage, maybe it might end on the cards. But I do got Earl Spence winning that fight because I just think he got too much dog and too much grit for Terrence Bud Crawford at the end of the day. When the shit get going and the shit hit the fan, like we seen Earl take that shit from Kell Brook. That wasn't no weak shit. That was the best Kell Brook. We seen Sean Porter. That was the best Sean Porter. That was one of the best Danny Garcia's, bro. People can say if they want to say, oh, Kell Brook said that was the best. And one thing they tried to force, and that's why I don't fuck with ESPN, because they kept trying to force Kell Brook to say that Terrence Bud Crawford is better than Errol Spence. And he kept telling their ass, I can't tell you, just because he beat me, I can't tell you that he's going to beat Errol Spence. That's why we need to see the fight. But we go see. We go see. The fight go get made. Earl not leaving 147 without fighting Bud. I'm telling y'all right now. He's not going to leave. Right. Because like I said, the man haven't told me one lie. He keeping it real. You feel me? Because he wearing his options. You can't get mad at the motherfucker for wearing their options. And I don't want to talk too much about Earl because I'm breaking Ugly Man down tonight about Earl. But Earl is that guy. He is the hottest motherfucker in boxing. And I'm gonna tell y'all why he's the hottest motherfucker in boxing tonight. But Errol Spence will beat Terrence Crawford, bro. Believe that.
Already. Hey, I wanted to good shit, y'all. Good shit, man. I wanted to touch on first what you were saying. He knows his sports. As far as with the character flaws in Terrence Crawford, I agree with you, bro. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I really couldn't like fully get behind Bud like that. Is because I'm like, damn, bro. I see too many character flaws. I'm like, bro, why would you re-sign with Bob Arum? You know he don't respect you. Everybody know you the best fighter they got over there, bro. And he don't talk about you like that. He don't promote you like that. He don't show you the proper love and respect that you deserve as the caliber of fighter that you are, bro. Like I be thinking, like, damn, bro. If imagine Terrence Crawford with PBC or Mayweather Promotions, which would most likely be partnered with PBC. I'm like, bro, this dude would be out of the fucking stratosphere. Like this shit wouldn't even be, you know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm like, and then the thing that you talking about with his sister, I'm like, I didn't even know that. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So those are the type of things. And then I be hearing like, look, it seemed like, you know, he always try to play it safe, like everything be politically correct, everything. It seemed like he don't want to piss off these white people, to be honest with you. He don't want to piss off these people that he feel like really put the money in his pocket, when truthfully his real supporters is us. You know what I'm saying? Like we the ones that's really keeping his name in the limelight. We the ones that's really supporting him. When he fought Amir Khan, he didn't sell shit. I bought that fight, bro. He didn't sell shit on all the people that's claiming that he gonna whoop Errol Spence ass, when really they don't care about Bud Crawford or Errol Spence. They really want to see both of them fall, but they know that Errol Spence is the biggest out of the two, so they know we love him the most, so they want to see him fall. That's the only reason why they go with Bud Crawford. But them niggas don't support Terrence Crawford. I bought that fight. What are these people that's all on Terrence Crawford saying that he gonna do this, he gonna do that? They not supporting him. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the biggest things why I really couldn't get behind him like that. But I also wanted to say on that same topic, you know, I've been just trying to do my best, you know, as far as just, you know, trying to look at it both ways, man, and just make sure I don't go too hard on. I'm always keep it 100 and speak facts, but I try, you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to. I see how motherfuckers playing this shit, you know what I'm saying, from the perspective of the masses. So I'm like, I can't go too hard on the brother, but I'm gonna keep it 100 at all times. Now let's get into the actual matchup with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Man, look, I feel like in that fight, first off, Terrence Crawford can't fight Errol Spence southpaw. When he fought Kell Brook, he started the fight off in southpaw because truthfully, no, he started off in orthodox. Truthfully, in orthodox, that's his best. In southpaw, that's his best stance. In my opinion, he really a southpaw. But he started the fight off with Kell Brook in orthodox, and he's saying that he was getting outboxed. I had Kell Brook winning the first 2 rounds for sure, and then I felt like the third round was like half and half. It was a swing round. But I had Kell Brook. Kell Brook was jabbing his motherfucking head off. He was hitting him with the jab and a straight right down the pipe. And Terrence Crawford realized, like, man, this thing in orthodox, you know what I'm saying, this shit ain't gonna be able to cut it. He switched to southpaw, and that's when he was able to catch Kell Brook jumping in with the straight right, which really it's a jab, but it's really that's a hard punch for him because he's naturally a right-hander, but he's more comfortable, in my opinion, fighting southpaw. So it was gonna be a lot easier for him to catch Kell Brook with power shots from the southpaw position. Now, when you fight in Errol Spence, that southpaw shit ain't gonna work because you're not gonna have that same leverage as if you was fighting an orthodox fighter. He gonna have to fight Errol Spence orthodox, and that's not gonna be his strong suit. And like y'all said, it take Bud Crawford time to heat up. Errol Spence ain't gonna let your ass heat up. He gonna come out there from round 1, coming forward with the jab, in your motherfucking face, putting unlimited pressure on you and making you adjust. And I'm gonna tell you like this: it's gonna be about 3, 4, 5 rounds done went by. Terrence Crawford really just now heating up. He gonna realize he's so far behind on the cards, he ain't gonna have no choice but to take some chances, and that's when he gonna get his ass caught. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Earl Spence is gonna win that fight. I want to see it, and you know that's going back to what I was saying initially. Like, I just want to see these dudes fight, so you can't say this gonna happen. This, I mean, we can break the fight down analytically and stylistically and say this was gonna happen, but I want to see these guys get in the ring and make this shit happen. But Earl gonna beat that dude ass, bro. Like, and going back to the dog that you had touched on, Money Brown, dog. Both of them dudes some killers. Both of them got that dog in them, and that's, to me, that's what make this fight. That's the most intriguing aspect of this fight. It's the killer mentality of both these dudes, because this reminds me of two dudes from the hood that it just, you know, when you in the hood, bro, it's like it's a level of respect and a fucking, it's not necessarily an image, but it's a way you got to carry yourself to get the respect. To get respect when you walking around in your neighborhood, to get respect when you out and about. Because if you don't have that, motherfuckers gonna treat you like you ain't shit. And then it's kind of like, you know, when you at school, you let a bully whoop on your ass, that motherfucker gonna whoop on your ass all the time. You gotta carry yourself a certain way so motherfuckers know, like, it's consequences and repercussions if you fuck with me. And both of these dudes got that killer, that mean streak about them, and it's gonna be so interesting to see which one of them break first. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Earl Spence got the most dog out of both, but that's why I said that's a whole hell of a lot of dog, Money Brown, because Bud Crawford got that motherfucking dog.
Oh,
He
no
a
doubt.
killer. And
No doubt.
and for Earl Spence to have more dog than him, that's a whole hell of a lot of dog. And I believe he got it. I believe he got it.
And I said,
Real Marlo, what you got to say about that, bro?
I'm gonna let Marlo. I'm gonna tell you. I say that because, bro, when we look at the competition that Earl Spence fought, who has he backed down from?
Nobody.
You see what I'm saying? You look at the competition in terms of what Crawford fought, it's not close. It's not close. So that's why I said, but go ahead, Marlo.
Real shit. And y'all know the reason why I know Bud gonna be the first nigga to fold. He'll fold way before Earl Spence, because back when them niggas was in that hallway and Earl Spence was about to beat his homeboy ass for opening his mouth, when he checked that nigga, Bud, he dissolved the situation by trying to joke around and shit, play fool and all that little shit, so Earl Spence can get off of that shit. And that's how it's gonna be when they get in the ring and he start punching on that nigga. He gonna fold. I'm telling you, it's the same shit. It's the same correlation. Just like I seen that nigga Danny Garcia in the fucking media workout. The nigga was looking in the mirror and shit, punching on a heavy bag. You know what I'm saying? Looking at his daddy. His daddy kept telling him, "Don't look at me." You know, telling him little shit. That same shit right there showed up in the fight. You know what I'm saying? The same way he didn't go hard in the media camp, it's the same way he didn't put out that same output in a fight. So it's a correlation within that shit. And that's gonna be the same shit with Bud. When you get in that ring, that nigga gonna fold. Cause that nigga, that nigga be bluffing, man. He ain't no hoe though. I ain't gonna say it like he no hoe. But he gonna be the first to fold, I promise. That nigga gonna fold, bro. And now I'm touch on, I forgot who said it. How that nigga, you see a lot of flaws in that nigga Bud Curtin, man. I see a lot of flaws in that nigga Curtin and that nigga whole squad Curtin. You know what I'm saying? Bomac was in that nigga so cause he wanted him to sign with Bob, so Bud can get the guaranteed money. If Bud get guaranteed money, his fat ass get guaranteed paper. So he wanted Bud to sign with Bob. You know what I'm saying? Because he a fat nigga and he needed to eat his pork chops and he wanted that guaranteed paper. You heard me? And then, so the same thing with that. The nigga Bernie, I'm on that nigga top too, bro. That nigga flawed the fuck out too. Every time something go down with this nigga whole squad, bro. Every time something go down, them niggas get the panicking and shit, bro. Like they get every time Bud feel pressure, he go on the fucking tweeting rant. Twitter fingers. You heard me? Or Bernie come out and talking shit on the internet. Them niggas ain't got no composure, bro. They ain't got no composure. When he get in the ring, Earl gonna expose that nigga, man. He ain't fought every time Earl get in the ring with these niggas, he exposed something about them. You know what I'm saying? Same thing he exposed with Danny, and that was the first fight back. First fight back, he came and exposed Danny, and Danny fought the latest. So you can't say that nigga was as rusty as Earl was. You know what I'm saying? So when he came back after that long ass layoff in that accident, niggas kept talking about the accident over and over and over. So, but now that he whooped his ass, niggas ain't want to talk about the accident no more. Like it just be fucking me up, bro. But Bud, man, him and his whole squad is flawed the fuck out, man. And I heard Bernie bitch ass, man. Bernie don't want no fucking smoke. You know what I'm saying? And he act like he talking to a nigga that don't go to no fight. Nigga, I go to fights. I never see that. Look, this the thing. When Bud was in the hallway with Earl and Earl checked his partner, where the fuck was Bernie at then? If he's supposed to be who he say he is, you know what I mean? If he's supposed to be the stepper in the Bud crew. I'm telling niggas how they ain't moving right. Where was that nigga then? Look, when I was 2 rows away from when Bud and his people got into it with Earl Peoples at the fucking Danny Garcia fight, right? Them niggas was finna get on Bud and the ass, bro. And Bud and Earl went to the side of the ring. He did like this, kept calling that shit off from his people. Like, man, leave them niggas alone. And they let them niggas ride. And them niggas went to the side door. Where was Bernie at then? That's why them niggas don't want no smoke with Earl. And the niggas be saying Earl a suburban boy. But every time I see Earl, he moving the right way. I don't see no flaws in none of that shit he doing. But Bud, he always folding when pressure go on, man. If you had as much fans as you say you got, and you deserve the 50-50 that you say you deserve, why the fuck every time something go down, you the one that got to respond? Earl Spence ain't never doing that shit, nigga. His fans come out and respond. Niggas like me, niggas like everybody else, Monnie, CON10DER regime, he knows the sport, nigga. Everybody come out who Earl Spence fans say they gotta say, but you never see Bud fans doing the same thing for him because the nigga ain't got as many fans, bro. He portraying he got. So how the fuck you deserve 50-50 when every time something going down, you gotta come out here and talk for yourself and shit. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas doing a hell of a bad job of promoting, you know what I'm saying? Of promoting themselves. That's why I gotta keep saluting them, the young niggas like Tank and fucking Ryan Garcia, even though I think Ryan gonna get his head knocked off. The nigga is a little genius, bro. He know how to promote himself. He mastered this shit at a young age. Him, Devin Haney came to YouTube, fucking mingling with niggas. The nigga that mastered the promotional shit. Bud ass is out the loop. The nigga is just all them niggas out the loop, bro. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't hip to this new world social media shit. So that's why them niggas losing. That's why they secondhand. And that's why the nigga ain't gonna get 50-50. And that's why the nigga gonna fold in the ring. But you know what I'm saying? That shit is to be seen. In the actual ring, man, what's gonna kill Bud is the jab. The jab gonna kill Bud all night long, like Kell starting to do. But Kell Brook, his jab, he got a good jab, but the nigga chin ain't the same, bro. Soon the nigga Bud touched him, he just fucking fell out. Like, overreacted, bro. His chin was gone, and Earl told niggas he was washed up. When Earl started popping the nigga with the jab, Bud gonna want to exchange, but every time he try to exchange, Earl Smith's gonna put him back in check with the jab. Jab him again. It's gonna put him in check back to over and over, like he did Danny. Danny is one of the best counter punchers in boxing, bro, and he couldn't counter Earl Spence like he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It was all because of the jab. You know what I'm saying? Every time Earl hit him with the jab, he had to reset. You feel me?
Hey, real quick on the point of that jab, you know how everybody always talking about Terrence Crawford arm reach. Right. Keep in mind, Kell Brook, see, it ain't all about reach when you got a proficient and an educated jab. Look at how Kell Brook, he got what, 69? His shit like 3 inches shorter than Earl Spence. And he was jabbing motherfucking Terrence Crawford head off. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what Earl Spence gonna do with the jab coming forward on his ass. Like, that shit gonna be crazy, bro.
He gonna be
and then Earl was out, it was countering Danny on top of his countering, like Floyd did the Canelo. You gotta counter when that person counter, you gotta counter right back on top of them, boy.
He was out countering the counter punch. And Bud, he do got that dog, but You know what I'm saying? It's always a bigger dog. You know what I'm saying? So when he get in there with Earl start jab. See, this is the thing about Earl's style. Niggas look at his style and think it's simple. They say simple. Sometimes simple beat all that flashy shit. That's why Hurricane said this the age of athleticism, and why Earl Spence got the edge on all of these niggas because of the fundamentals, man. That was the realest shit ever. That's what's going on in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of guys with crazy athleticism, and that's what Terence Crawford got. But it's like he cheat with a lot of shit because he just got gifted like that. You know what I'm saying? He cheat and he do certain things that he ain't gonna be able to do with Earl, because Earl the wrong nigga he just ain't gonna be able to do it, bro. He ain't gonna be able to do it. Like straight left hand to the body, bro. Earl Smith got one of the best straight left hands to the body I've ever seen. The nigga, every time he hit you, you gotta take a couple steps back because he did knock you off balance with the motherfucker.
And that lateral shot to the ribs, boy. Yeah. Every time you throw that, like I know the fighter didn't see that coming though.
Yeah, and the uppercut to the ribs, man. He got a crazy uppercut to the ribs. He used that based off your momentum when you coming toward him. He used that to stop your momentum. He take a step back and he shoved that left uppercut to the body and then fuck you all the way up. He hit you right in the solar plexus, take your hair out. I mean, Bud is not gonna be able to do the same shit he do to other niggas, man. He just not gonna be able to do it, bro. And then the fact that he ain't been fighting top competition is gonna hurt him when he get in the ring too, because Earl Spence been getting war ready and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when he said that iron sharpen iron shit, man, that shit trans all over boxing. Had Mayweather even saying that shit. Like the nigga always iron sharpen iron. And the reason why Danny don't fight real hard in the ring is because he don't train real hard in the ring. He fight them weak ass sparring partners. And I know for a fact because Angel Garcia said that he don't like for Danny to get beat up in sparring, and you got to take it light in sparring so you can be okay for the real fight. And that's what came out of Angel Garcia's mouth. So I took that and like, okay, these niggas don't even fight real tough niggas in sparring. So how the fuck you think you gonna fuck with Earl when y'all get in the ring? So that was that. You know what I'm saying? So same thing that applies to Bud. He haven't been fighting the right competition to get him ready for a nigga like Earl. He ain't been fighting the tough enough opponents to keep him war ready that he gonna have to be in. Like he fuck around and get blow out the water, bro. He fuck around and get blow out the water. You know what I'm saying? Nothing he gonna be able to. You gonna see him keep switching and shit. Like people always talking about how a nigga good at switching, bro. That shit only works against certain people. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not gonna work against a high level boxer like him. Like niggas done seen it all. Niggas done seen it all. He went through the whole Olympics. He didn't see every style that Terence Crawford can bring in that motherfucker and try to, you know what I'm saying, replica. Earl Spence seen everything, and they already been studying Crawford, bro. They got this shit down packed, man. They gonna fuck Crawford.
Hey, look at Crawford last 4 or 5 fights, bro. Every fight he done fought the same, dog.
Facts.
Earl Spence, this man literally in the last 5 or 6 fights, he fought a different style every time. Facts. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to prepare for Earl Spence, bro. Like you really don't know what to expect when you're gonna get in the ring. I mean, you can expect a great jab, you can expect intelligence, ring IQ, distance control. You can expect all those things, but you don't know how he gonna present that shit to you.
Hey, y'all can't see me right now, but I'm doing my he knows this sports over here, pointing my finger.
Hey,
he knows this sports right now.
That's it, tough. Man.
That's one of the toughest things, bro, because when he went in there, I was so impressed with Earl Spence's performance versus Danny Garcia because it was so crazy to see how this man could go forward. He came out from round 1 coming forward with the jab, but you fighting a counter puncher. He wants you to come forward. And he's coming forward against a counter puncher. He's out countering the counter puncher, making a miss on the way in with the jab, going to the head and to the body. And just the fight before that, he fought Sean Porter in a pretty much a slug fest. You know what I'm saying? And he fought him toe to toe in the middle of the ring. It's like, bro, you really don't know what to expect. Like if the untrained eye would have watched Earl Spence versus Sean Porter, they wouldn't even have fathomed that Earl would have fought how he fought against Danny Garcia, bro.
Facts.
That's the most.
Facts.
That's one of the most difficult things that I don't think people understand when you're trying to prepare for Earl Spence, bro.
You gotta switch it up. But gentlemen, man, we gotta go, man. Hey, it was real.
One more thing. And the crazy thing about Earl, people talk about how Bud can adjust, but Earl Spence and Derrick James never trained to fight that they fought against Danny. Derrick James said they fought to move around the ring and use lateral movement and just outbox Danny. Earl Spence came forward the whole night, which lets me know he can just switch up on the fly. They ain't even trained for this shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even trained for the Sean Porter fight. Earl Spence came in and just did what he did. You know what I'm saying? But people always talk about how Bud, you know what I'm saying, adjust all the time, but Earl Spence adjusting on point, bro.
Gentlemen, it was real. Appreciate y'all. Monty Brown, Contender Regime, Real Marlo. Hey, man, if y'all ain't subscribed to these brothers' channels, y'all better be subscribed to these brothers' channels. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. This was a hell of a panel. This was an all-star panel. I appreciate y'all brothers coming through. I appreciate y'all doing y'all thing. Appreciate everyone that showed up and showed out in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Next week, Saturday, if y'all brothers are free, man, let's do it again, man. So appreciate you, Contender. Salute to you. Appreciate you, the Real Marlo TV. Salute to you. Appreciate you, Monty Brown. Salute to you, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you, everyone that donated, gave super chats. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great Saturday.
Already, man.
1 second, Monty, what time you cooking that big lip ass nigga, bro?
10 p.m. 10 p.m. Central our time, bro.
I'm talking about all time. What time is it?
Central. 10 p.m. Central.
10. I bet I'm in there on his big mouth ass, man. And we know he a hoe because he never come to Earl Spence fights. He know one of Earl Spence fans gonna knock his big ass out.
All right, y'all. Hey, man, y'all boys be easy, man. Appreciate y'all. Salute, man. Hold it down.
No doubt. Much love. You know, I see you started, my brother.
All right.
There you go. See you later, Monty. Yeah. Be easy, Real Marlo. Be easy, Contender. Peace.